Alright, here we are. I'm in King's March. Nothing fancy came out of the last couple of shipments. Think? No. Alright. Got a bit of a thunderstorm here. I'm hoping we're still on the internet. Should be. I'm not hearing a no, so I'm going to say that counts as a yes. Alright, so every day I've just been shipping a little bit of crops to one of the various oh, what are they? Like Nakanu or Teanui ports. Just shipping some crops out there, trying to get just whatever is whatever they have a quota for, whatever's favored. Just a little bit of extra crops and ore, trying to get a little bit of anything I can back. Basically, I've gotten several divines just kind of while logged out, so that's not too bad. Just send all the rest of the crimson iron and bismuth there, I suppose. And some corn, why not? Let them have a good bit of a good old corn. Alright, let's do a little mapping. I want to find out how badly these mercs got nerfed, because I had heard really, really bad things according to the Reddit, you know. Not that Reddit's to be trusted, but that the mercs just all die instantaneously if you try and do anything on them, so I've got a set of Elder Guardian maps here. Let's see, that's okay. That one's also okay. Don't really love that one. Reduce flask charges I'd rather not run, so let's clear that out, too. More monster life's alright. Unique boss has increased AoE, is kind of annoying, though. Alright, this'll do. And the thing that I've been doing in terms of scarabs lately, especially for these, like, Maven invitation setups, is I've just been throwing, like, I've just been trying to do, like, the quickest, cheapest thing I can, or quickest and, like, least, I don't know, impactful in terms of time, and that's, like, Kalgurin ore stuff, and then also just trying to sustain more of these Elder Guardian, Elder Slayer, Shaper Guardian maps. So the easiest way to do that is like one regular cartography scarab of escalation, which I just gave all my gold away to Johan, so give me a little bit of that back if you don't mind. Buy like 20 of these. Yeah, alright, I'll pay 3 gold or 3 chaos a piece, that's fine. And then the other scarab, the influencing what is it called? Influencing Scarab of Conversion will give you a pretty good chance to convert. Okay, there's one of them for 1 chaos, sure. Pretty good chance to convert, like, just any of the tier 14 plus maps into, like, Shaper, Elder, or Guardian, or Synth maps, for that matter. So I'll buy, like, let's say 19 of these, 20 of these. There we go. 16 of them, I suppose. I think that these do overwrite tier 17 map drops, which is a little annoying, so it's not like they're the greatest thing in the world, but, you know, they're okay for, like, sustaining various Guardian, Maven Witnessable, Maven Invitation map setups, right? So, just run a handful of sets of these. Kind of see how the Merc handles doing this. I mean, she hadn't died yet. Not that that's, like, you know, the greatest indication of her tankiness or whatever, but I don't know. I kept seeing people saying that their Merc was dying instantaneously in red tier maps. I have to imagine they just had a really stupid mercenary that they'd set up poorly. Like a melee mercenary with no defensive stats. I'll take 3 chaos, sure. I'm also curious about how much less tanky the mercs that we're fighting are. That one didn't really seem like it was any different, or how much less dangerous they are. I'll have to like fight a strength dex merc a couple of times before I'll be able to tell how much less lethal they are. Again, one of those things where Reddit's never to be trusted. So the thing that I like about this Kalguran scarab setup that I'm using is one of these scarabs makes it so that all the monsters from the, you know, whatever ore that you deal, like whatever ore you get, that petrified wood or whatever it is that I was fighting there, you know, any of the Kalguran stuff, all of the monsters will be magic, which means like they have a lot of gold. Like I'm not sure how much gold I started with in this map, because I had given it all to Johan, and that took some amount back. But I feel like I'm gaining like probably like 20,000 gold a map while doing these Maven maps that I'm kind of trying to fly through. And I'm not like stopping to do Expedition or Legion or anything super like time consuming and slow like that. Like a lot of the time you can just walk up to one of these Kalguran ores and just walk right, like click it and walk right on. At least for the bismuth, that is what you do. But most of them aren't that time consuming. And then the one that is, Verisium, it's pretty rewarding to ship out a bunch of Verisium. We get like scarabs back, give cards, so can't really complain. Obviously the build's feeling like pretty online now. I still haven't added cluster jewels. That is the next thing on the list. I've just been playing WoW the last couple of days between patch 11.1.7 dropping and being a little underwhelming, and then patch 11.1 or 11.2's PTR going up. And that was a little better, admittedly. Oh, come on. Get out of here, Bismuth Cyclone. Nice. Ow. Damn. That hurts, but not my Mercenary. You can look at her health in the top left corner. Full health the whole time.
She's fine.
Yeah, I mean, she's just completely fine.
Doesn't care.
No.
She doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I think these people may have just had mercs that were garbage. I mean, it's not like this is the juiciest content in the world. This isn't some 100% delirious tier 17 or anything. But she fine. And she thick. She's not. She's not thick, though. She's very spindly. Oh, you hate that. You hate to get a shrine and then just sit here and wait for the Elder to kill off a boss forever.
I'm sure she's someone's type. You don't need to hate.
She's everyone's type. She's like O negative blood. Tatiana, the Cyaxan sister. Honestly, she's, with the way that she does the, like, forking cold shot, whatever that arrow is called, fork arrow or something, she's kind of just, like, the Hydra Guardian. I basically just recruited Hydra Guardian to fight for me, but without the totems. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still liking the Ice Shot Merc. I mean, I have heard some people say that they like the, lightning shot or lightning arrow merc more, which seems, I mean, that seems fine to me. Like, I did play around with the lightning arrow merc before the ice shot merc. It was the one I had like prior to recording the video, and I liked it, but it was like lower level. I think I'd gotten it in like tier 10 maps or something, and so just didn't feel like it was as good, obviously, lower level and all. And then I think I've just never seen another one, even though I've been looking for a couple of days. Didn't play that much PoE in the last 2 days, but with all the WoW stuff, but played a good amount. That was pretty good. And I feel like the Merc is just like as tanky as she was before, so I feel okay about this. This is great. All this says to me is that people were doing some dumb stuff with their like melee mercs and getting away with it because they were overtuned early on. I also think like they carried, like they definitely could carry in the campaign damage wise, but I think at in game she's strong enough to clear a tier 16 on her own, and probably with like a lot more gear she could clear tier 16s on her own quickly and like actually solo the boss herself and stuff. But I think they're better as a support bot. It's more the play style that I think most people are going to want to pursue anyway, right? I mean, maybe not. I know some people like playing support bots, specifically Mark, the guy who's like lead on this game, specifically has said, and even said in the like run up to this, like he likes playing aura bots, supports, and he's gonna do that in this league. And now he even gets to support more people because everybody in his group is gonna have a merc, and he'll be supporting all of them too. I think in like a game like Diablo 3, or not that they, at least last we played Diablo 4, the support role exactly existed. It was more like something that was very slightly built into every role, was like a little bit of support. I think in a game like those, there's not enough going on for support to feel like great.
Yeah.
Like deep. But this game has got so much depth to it that I think being a full-time dedicated support could feel pretty dope. I mean, Sunset and I both played supports in D3 a lot, and my thinking on it is mostly just always boiled down to either playing like a monk support where you're just sucking everything in, just CCing everything all the time, so you're just spamming CC, or you're playing like a witch doctor, so you're fearing everything, then you're just like, you know, making sure you time the fear right so it never stops being feared. But it's not like I ever felt like it was complex, pulse-pounding, interactive gameplay. It was like, wait for the debuff to almost fall off and then press the button again.
Some of them you're penalized if you press the debuff too much, actually.
That's
It
right.
would, like, make them immune, and
Yeah.
then you wouldn't be effective at all, and then it would be like, alright, well.
Yeah. I think they did that with Monk, if I remember correctly. Monk originally had been like, you just kind of spam Cyclone Strike or whatever it was as much as you can, and then it turned into a thing that got a DR on it, and so then you started staggering it out, and then it just wound up being like not worth playing anymore because of the DR, which, fine. Wow, Cyclone Strike? Really? I remembered that after all this time? If I remembered it correctly. That's something. That I wasted brain space on that, you know? 5 Chaos. What do I think? I think all of this gear looks really bad. Nah, that's bad. Yeah, alright. 5 Chaos is great. I'm sure they had a lot of fun making all of the, like, trickster, trapper styled, like, Dexant characters be, like, gibberish spouting morons. That probably had to be, like, a fun in-joke in the studio. Not just, like, gibberish spouting morons, but then their names are all, like, Sam the Stupid. You know, Eddie the Idiot. Pitiful Mike. Yeah, the chest on the Merc is just a rare chest, but then I got, it was like a veiled chest that dropped. It just has like resistances and life on it, and then I threw Fizz Taken as lightning on it because it does have capped resistances, so I thought, that'll help it. It's like evasion-based character, you know. And then I get Despair Curse out of it, so like, I got it. I don't know that either of these implicits is really great. They're just like, the first thing I rolled on it, and I was like, that at least like, seems like it'll do something, rather than being like, % increased armor on a character that has no armor. Then the boots, same basic thing, you know, just a bunch of life and resistances to be capped. And then the percent increased life regen rate, because mercs have really high base regen, like 1,000. I actually think that modifier is better on a mercenary than even like a, I don't know, righteous fire character. Because they're getting like 1,000 plus life regen. So if you're bumping that by 7%, that's enormous. Oh yeah, here we go. Right. Oh no, I didn't set a portal outside. Alright, I'm not allowed to die, or I'm gonna have to run through the entire damn map again. Ugh. Alright, this is for real. This is, more serious than hardcore. I am gonna switch over to a different farm strategy than Maven here in a bit. I mean, probably not during this stream, but like over the next day. But I've just, been a little distracted over the last couple of days, and also I kind of like Maven early in the league. It's very RNG heavy, but you can get just incredible value out of Mavens early. I mean, like I got multiple Awakened gem drops off of like map bosses that gave like 2-3 divines, 3-4 divines, just off of like random map bosses, because Awaken Void Manipulation, Awaken Unbound Ailments, that kind of thing. Drops off of like the Mesa map boss. Don't mind if I do. Damn. All of those bosses combined to have nothing that passed the loot filter. That sucks. I'll probably make another video. I don't know if it'll be, it's definitely not going to be tomorrow, but like later on in the week. So what I've done is I have kind of done a hybrid of the two approaches I was doing. I have like 1 mana Forged Arrow set up with Toxic Rain of Withering and Frenzy and Culling Strike on it. So no GMP on this. I'm just hoping that the Frenzies hit often enough to maintain Frenzy charge stacks. It's not too hard. And then Toxic Rain of Withering is, obviously for getting more Wither stacks more easily. And then the other setup is a Caustic Arrow, Mana Forged Arrows, Awakened Arrow Nova, Void Manipulation, and Vicious Proj setup. And then I use Life Tap support, because if you don't have Life Tap, the cost on that is like a lot. It's like 8 mana without a 6th link, and it's like 20-something mana. And with Toxic Rain's base cost being very low, you basically never trigger that. And so if you use Life Tap, then the cost becomes all life. It's very high. It's like 100-something life, but during Life Tap, you get like a pretty large increase to the damage of the skill that's linked to. And then also a bunch of like I think it's 15 or 20. Yeah, it's 20% increased life recovery from flasks. So because you're a Pathfinder, you're completely able to override that. So you're able to just run essentially 3 links, like, 1 support-ish 4 link, and then another damage, basically another damage 6 link that automates itself for the price of 1. And so you're getting all that clear out of CA, but then you're not actually having to press it. And then I got lucky, and this is the reason why I switched over, was I corrupted the Caustic Arrow, hoping it would go up to 21 and, 20. And instead it turned into Vol CA at 2020, which is great. That's like a couple of divines. I felt like I should take advantage of how good this setup is. But, then still take advantage of the other setup as well. And so the stuff that I dropped to get that was I dropped the Golem, just kind of annoying to keep hitting it even though it is useful. And then I dropped all the like crappy little auras I was running, like level 1 Clarity, Vite, and Precision, that I was just running mostly for MTX edition purposes, which is like obviously very important, but I'm living without them. And now I have 3, basically 2.5 damaging skill link setups, and so my single target damage is, considering that like I don't have what are they called, I don't have cluster jewels yet. I feel like my damage is crazy for this point in the league with how little investment I have into this character compared to normal. Like obviously my damage could be higher, but I feel like my damage is pretty great for where I'm at in the league. the level of like low investment I put into the character. I have not thrown it into POB again recently, and it's not like I have the Mercenary set up in POB either to count the whatever it is I'm getting out of her, like all of the extra damage from the 30% chills and the occasional shocks, 10 to 20% shocks. But normally I would expect. I've really botched this one, huh? Okay, so normally Wildwoods will have like 4 events in each Wildwood, and they'll all be formed in roughly a diamond pattern, and so you kind of want to feel out for which corner you're on, and I think I just went exactly the wrong way at the start. I thought I was like in the bottom side, and I think it was at the top, and so I went to the top right and just hit the wall. That's okay. No, I won't be taking that. Pretty great bonus, though. Reduce flash charges gain, increase flask effect if you have, like, a mage blood. Pretty nice. But I don't. Creepy laugh. The creepiest. Alright, this is not an Eldritch, like, Eater Exarch altar farm map, so gotta remember to do this all backwards. Clear the whole map out, so that I can get more stuff spawned by the Maven, and then finish with the boss. Very weird. My default farm, my go-to farm usually is just, like, some mechanic, shrines or strongboxes or expedition or whatever on maze, start out by boss rushing and then clear out the map. Very normal. So, like, having to do it backward, really, really disorienting. Like trying to do some complex task in the mirror. Boy, oh boy. I was talking that smack about how my damage feels good, and then I, of course, got, what do I have, like, a little under 5k. Wisps and all the monsters in the map, so they're super tanky. I mean, look, my damage is not great. It's not like I have a +2 neck or a double chaos dot multi quiver. Or even, like, cluster jewels. One cluster jewel setup even would probably double my damage. So, definitely need to get that going. And I have the currency, too. I don't know. Every time I go to log in, it's like I'd rather do something in a map than get on that just yet. Yeah, that's true. That is true, you do. I like that King in the Mist ritual. I mean, as much as I dislike ritual, like, mechanically, I just say, even during Ritual League, I thought, like, boy, this is really boring. This isn't doing it for me. I still enjoyed Ritual League, I just didn't like the mechanic. I really like the Wildwood. I really like everything about the King of the Mists. King of the Mists is, like, I think my favorite boss in PoE 2 of the in-game bosses. It certainly isn't Zasht or Arbiter of Ash, although that guy's voice acting is, and, and all the work done to modulate it and make it sound spooky as hell is awesome. Good morning. Oh yeah, 75% more monster life on this map. Yeah, it's a bit of a... I was wondering why everything felt so crazy tanky, but the combination of wisps and 75% more life will do it. Oh, these bosses are gonna suck. Oh, and 100% less effective curses. And increased or less cooldown recovery rate. No wonder. Okay. Yeah, all of my triggers are pretty lethargic. Oh, look at that Immortal Call cooldown. Dear God. Well, that's okay. All right. What's this guy's deal? He's very dangerous. Okay. None of this seems great. I saw that. Okay, Wild Slash, really? I don't feel dangerous. I don't feel threatened by that. This is a terrible base for like an infamous piece of gear. I feel like this is worthless because it's on a bad base. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is worth anything at all. Um, maybe you could try and recombinate it onto a good base, but I doubt it. I think it's just like I'll take the 5 chaos, please, sir. Also, please don't kill me. Okay, yeah, no problem. No worries about that. Toast. I liked most of Synthesis. Basically, the thing that I didn't like because I wasn't like completely brand new at the game at that point. I mean, I think my account's been active. I think they were in open beta then. I don't know. Certainly it's before the game actually went live. But I didn't really play much. Oh, yeah. That's tough. But like I liked the map building, the world component of Synthesis. I like that a lot. I just didn't like actually synthesizing the items, which obviously people figured that out, solved that by the end of the league and were making like god tier items. I mean, I remember people having, 20, I want to say 20,000 energy shield, but maybe it was less than larger than that, 40,000 energy shield, and just being like, well, I don't understand how any of that works. That's too much. I am still running Arctic armor for now. Once I get like an Enlighten and swap some things around, I may not bother. Like I may be using my own Grace or Purity of Elements, honestly, using that to like make it easier to fix resists. Although I don't love Purity now that there's not a Washer's Eye option for it. What is going on with this fire pillar there? Okay, whatever. I still haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna do with respect to auras, but Arctic armor's working for now. Nice and cheap too. Yeah, I am getting Grace from the Merc. She's great. I was worried that she wasn't going to be tanky or anything, but I thought I had set her up to make me like feel, pretty tanky. Feeling completely fine. Not feeling great about how long it's taking to kill this boss, but it is, what, like 75% more monster life, 100% less effective curses, and 4,500 wisps in the boss, so, yeah, it's fine. Whew. That was tight there for a minute. Yeah, somebody left a comment that I thought was, like, thoughtfully written, where they said, basically, that they had just switched, instead of running a Ice Shot Merc, they were running a Lightning Arrow Merc, and I thought that seemed appealing. But, oh my god, this is brutal. Please die. I have Culling Strike on one of my links. Okay, thank God. If it were just like, no dying. All right, if it were just like 1 or 2 mods and the wisps, this wouldn't be quite so slow to die. Finally. Yikes. But it's like, it's the wisps. I think they're also getting the benefit of the bismuth tornadoes.
That would only slow me down.
That's fine. Ugh. Rough. Alright. Let's get the hell out of here. Let me think. Alright, I do still have the spreadsheet. Let's just take a look. Alright, flashbang alert. I guess flashbang alert after the fact. Okay, doppelganger guys. I mean, that makes the most sense to me. Doppelganger guys is absolutely just buck wild. I assume it is incredibly expensive. I haven't bothered to look. I don't think it's really that rare as far as item drop, like rarity goes. But there you go, 120 chaos. Pretty expensive for kitting out a merc. Definitely way more anything that that I have put on them. I think my combined total that I spent on her, even at the time, was like, this was 1 chaos. This I found, nothing. This I also found 1 chaos, 2 chaos, I think, 30, 1. This one I think costs 20 because it has the despair on hit, curse, self-found, like, I don't know, 5 chaos I think I've sold a couple of these for, and then this bow I bought for like 10. So total kit for this character is like maybe 50 chaos for this whole merc. I think Doppelganger guys makes the most sense. I think it's the best one because you get that. Not only do you get like the character always counts while it has sane, so just 10 or what is it, 30 to 40% less physical and chaos damage taken. Huge. But then also like regenerating 10% life is like every time you get hit, you regen 10% life over 1 second. So you're just regenerating 10% life every second on the character, basically. Like that's a lot. You know, if they have like 5k life, they're generating like an extra 500 life a second. I think that's pretty good. They already generate like 20% of their health or so per second, so you know. I know a lot of people like Garb of the Ephemeral. Obviously, there's a bunch of upsides there. Enemies can't crit. Nearby allies like can't be frozen or temp chains or any of that. So that's all good. It's probably the best one. But you can't use it on a bow merc, like, you know, the one I'm using. Doriani's prototype, same deal. I know people like Doriani's prototype. I imagine that interaction might get nerfed at some point, being able to just super negative mercenary resistances. I know I saw some Reddit posts saying that, like, after the patch today, that setup wasn't working for them anymore, and then I saw more people saying, no, you're wrong, it does work, so who are you gonna believe? Probably the latter guy. It's a lot of stat budget on this ring, on this otherwise kind of bad ring. I don't even know. Throw it in a divine tab, it'll never sell. Terrible. Awful. 7 fractured life. Ooh, that's a T1 fractured life on some murder mitts. That's pretty damn good. What is that, a couple of divines? Just one? You know what? I think that might just be in the, like, save them and craft them myself later on. Like, just looking at these are okay. I think what I would probably do with these murder mitts that just dropped is probably just use, like, deafening essences of zeal. I think the attack speed roll, I don't have any on hand. No, I don't. I think the attack speed roll on Deafening Essence of Zeal, I don't have to think, I can just look, but I think on gloves it is higher than the baseline T1 attack speed on gloves, which caps at 16% obviously, and I think gloves cap at 17 to 18. Hell yeah. So, whenever I feel like crafting these, I would spam them up with Deafening Essences of Zeal until I like the other suffixes. Basically, I think I'd be going for, what do I have in here? Lightning Res and Chaos Res. Do I need the Lightning Res? Some. So maybe I'd just do it until I got, like, Chaos Res or something. And then I do have to still use, like, crafted Area of Effect prefix for now until I can get some Area of Effect from, like, Corrupted Jewel implicits. So that's probably what I would do, is just slam these with Deafening Essences of Zeal until I got a Chaos Res and craft AoE on the prefix, and then that would be that. Yeah, I love being able to use Eldritch currency to, like, lock prefix or whatever, roll prefixes without dealing with suffixes and not having to use, like, meta mods and stuff too, so that's good. Oh, and then I have this garbage that needs to go into the DE tab. And one more map for this Maven setup, and that'll be 4 maps. And it's only taken me, what, like half an hour? I'm so fast, it's crazy.
instructions. Just how it comes. Doesn't matter how this ends. Only that it does.
Huh. I haven't bothered to check and see if cartography scarabs of risk are worth anything now. I guess they're... The limit is 5, so basically it's no limit. Alright.
On your head, be it.
Sure.
You'll
Probably should have just tried to exile this guy. I didn't even really look or think about that as an option. I kind of want to see what all the different types of guys like feel like to fight now, in terms of like how hard the strength dex guys hit, that kind of thing. What the hell is this? I'm not familiar with this wand at all. This must be new. Okay. It seems like it's a pretty good, like, that seemed like it would sell even with horrendous rolls for like 10, 15 chaos, so with good rolls, it might be a pretty nice little wand. Interesting. I didn't really look all that closely at it. I see extra projectiles. Projectiles cannot continue after colliding with targets. Weird. I don't know what you would do with that. I barely know I know enough to understand how wands work, but not much more than that. I've always just done bows or, you know, lightning strike, double strike, melee smash, melee brain.
Zug zug.
Zug zug, exactly. Wands are very weird in this game. Like, being able to attack with wands and having a bunch of wand-specific or wand partially included attacks, like Barrage, where you can use a wand or a bow to do an attack. Very weird. Not how my brain processes wands. I think it's, you know, I have acute World of Warcraft poisoning, where wands are just a thing that you put on and then cast spells. Just a stat stick in your hands. That's not how PoE is at all. You can use a bow as your stat stick for spellcasting. Fucking weird. Oh, hell yeah. Just in case I want to level another character at some point. I'm sure I will. Alright, I haven't really looked at my gold over the last couple of maps. Certainly not, like, thinking, like, how much gold am I making from every single map? But it does seem like I'm making, I don't know, 10 to 20,000 gold a map. That's okay. It's not great. But I'm not doing that juicy of maps either. Like, I did find that I got a lot of gold from doing some of the memory maps. I like the idea of the memory maps, but then you have, like, all the tier 17 modifiers, which I don't really love. And then you have to sit and roll the map in the map window, too, instead of being able to, like, bulk roll a bunch of maps all at once. That I don't love. 30 dudes somewhere. Not a big deal if I miss them. And it looks like I have. Another 73% more monster life map, but this time with no wisps or 100% less curse effect, so not nearly as brutal. Dear God, I mean, look at the difference. Yeah. I like Affliction. I really do. I like Affliction. I like everything about, like, all of the stuff around Ritual. I just don't actually like standing in a Ritual altar. I do wish Affliction did less to increase monster toughness, though. Like, I realize that it's deeply, deeply rewarding, and that's great. But I think about like Sentinel, which is also very rewarding and doesn't feel like it does anything close to the amount of a toughness increase that you get out of Wisps. And I think that's great. All right, nice. That's not a Cortex, that's just a crappy one, but still, I'll take it. All right, let me out, bro. Twisted Distant Memory, I'll take it. That's fine. I'm curious what builds are using this. I'm gonna stop and look at that. I'm gonna just pull up PoE Ninja real quick. Again, flashbang warning. Mystic Refractor. Okay, well, not a lot of them, clearly. 224 characters using this for Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. Oh, I see. So you use it for like a Forbidden Rite or something like that where who cares that projectiles can't continue? They explode when they hit the ground anyway. Or Winter Orb. Okay. And then now you're just getting free increased proj. You get 3 instead of 2. And that's kind of it. I guess they're just using this in their offhand or something with that. Nope, they're using it with a shield. Okay. Well, Mage Blood. Alright. Ah. Interesting. Whispers of Infinity. What a fascinating neck. I think that comes from one of the bosses. One of the new bosses. I don't remember which one of the memory bosses, but yeah. Alright, well, that's cool. Shame that this rolled with just Garbanzo rolls, but whatever, 20 chaos if somebody wants it. Neato.
Don't talk badly about chickpeas.
True. Alright, Kirak, let me do another Maven invitation here. Consecrated Ground, deeply underrated, terrible affix on like bossing, in bossing setups. Like just really, really nasty to have them gaining back whatever it is, all that like I don't remember 6% of life per second. Terrible. I also don't like all monster damage from hits ignites because I'm still not ignite immune. So, and some of those hits can be brutal. I should be not ignite immune. I should get on that. And I will, eventually, but not yet. Alright. This one's bad. That's really bad. That's like 4 bad rolls. I would be happy with this, but I think the reflecting elemental damage is going to kill my Merc. I think that the last time I did a reflected elemental damage, my Merc died instantaneously, and I don't want to run that risk again. I could be wrong. She could have died to something else or been dead earlier, and I just not noticed it because I'm so smart. I don't know. How are we up this late? I am a vampire. My parents met on the night shift. I was born for this.
My parents were always up late as well, and my dad would stay up until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then wake up at 7 to go to work. So it's pretty much how I live as well.
Yeah. It's one of those things you hear, like, interesting facts about other parts of the world. You hear that people in Spain's average bedtime is like, you know, after midnight or whatever. It's like, I don't know if that's true, but if it is, it sounds cool. I wish I was Spanish.
Yeah. But also, we're up so that we can hang out with 23 of our closest friends.
That's the correct answer. Well done.
27, I mean. I'm 28,
Damn.
I mean. My bad.
Damn. Excellent. I love how that number keeps growing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know,
We
big
even tried to
advantage. Go ahead.
accommodate everybody because
That's right.
we're on Twitch and YouTube today. We did ask if people preferred one platform or the other, and it was about even when the
Yeah.
poll was taken on YouTube. So we figured, well,
There's probably a
surely
little
there must be
selection
a lot of
bias on
Twitch
YouTube too,
watchers.
so there must be a lot of Twitch
Yeah.
watchers, yeah. I mean, I get
Yeah,
it.
you can watch. Yeah, you can watch while you're at work. I understand.
Yeah, that makes
I mean,
sense.
I will say Laryl used to stream on Twitch a long time ago.
Quite a long
Just
time ago, yeah.
WoW stuff. Yeah, quite a long time ago.
Like 12 years
And
ago or something.
we've streamed a handful of times on Twitch from our WoW channel, but this I think is the first time you're streaming PoE on Twitch, right?
Maybe. I might have done something on Twitch of PoE like once, one time before, and been like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh,
I'm
if
not
you
sure.
haven't collected the drops yet from Twitch, there's a
Oh.
portal.
Oh yeah, completely forget about Twitch
Yeah, we
drops.
have drops enabled, so if you haven't
Yeah.
watched 3 hours of Twitch or given subscriptions away or purchased subscriptions, then now's the time to do it. It ends in just like I think 2 days. Yeah, it ends on the 21st, so get that
Nice.
done if you want those things.
True.
And
Alright.
you can get them from watching Larold, and he's going to be streaming a bit over the next few days. So if you want
That's
to,
right.
not the subscriptions things yet, because we haven't unlocked all of the affiliate and partner stuff yet since we
No, that's
just
true.
streaming. But yeah, yeah, I have YouTube Premium as well, and I guess
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what's going on with Twitch because I have Amazon Prime, but um we've always preferred YouTube's play. We always felt like YouTube is a video first platform, and Twitch is like it also does video, even though that's really all you go to for Twitch. We just
Yes,
think their video
exactly.
player is really bad.
Okay, I'll tell you the honest truth with like video streaming platforms and all of that. I've said this plenty of times before, but I'm saying it again. Twitch is got the worst player for like rewatching video content on the internet. I would rather stream on like Pornhub. They have a really good video player.
Oh God.
Well, I don't think
You're
I
gonna
would.
get us
I don't exactly
demonetized.
think I fit the content guidelines
You're
for
gonna
there.
get this video demonetized.
Fair enough. But yeah, like Twitch never liked their video player, but as a streaming platform, undeniably it's the one that everybody likes the most. Can't even argue. So, you know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm just running through my Kirac stuff here. Oh no thank you. Just trying to fish for like
Ryan
one of
says
these.
he's gonna sub when we finish Arcane, so I guess you
Oh,
better get
all
to
right.
watching.
All right, I guess I gotta
you're
watch
not gonna keep up
Arcane.
with me.
That's right.
Well, you're.
I feel like there was a comedian who used that website for exactly that kind of purpose, or like whatever, not anything risque at all. I'm sure plenty of people have done that. Anyway, trying to fish for unique maps through Kirac. It's not working out. What do I still need of unique maps? It's only like 2. I could just buy them at this point. Vault of Itsiri and Twilight Temple. I wanted to do all of the maps, like, you know, one full completion of my Atlas without having bought a single map, but maybe I'll just buy. Am I in the correct league for this? I'm not. Okay, let me fix that. Vault of Itsiri. Oh, it's only 15 chaos? Fine. Should have done this ages ago. That's if this person is selling. I usually, whenever I'm like buying any sort of map or anything like that, you know, I always scroll down to the bottom. Nope, same person. Alright, here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my god, it's the same guy again. Okay, this is why sometimes people will just ignore a seller so that
Ignore
they stop seeing
me.
them. Yeah, exactly. All right, Opera Man. And never, all right, whatever, never bow.
If you can tell us where that line is from, I'll give you a special role in the Discord.
That's right.
It's a very special role. There's only 3 people with it.
All right. My little PoE overlay search is not working out. It's hitting the end of the search results.
Oop.
That's fine. Just go to the trade site. Damn. All right, there we go. It's a trade site having problems. I see. Okay. Well, that would explain why I can't buy this map. All right. Well, what are you going to do? Trade sites having problems. Trade sites having problems. It is what it is.
You need to make your own fortunes.
Yeah. All right. All right, what now? Do I have a full set of... I have 4 Elder Slayer maps. I'll just run it back, but with Elder Slayers. I love the Horizon Orb change. That's nice. 15, 17... Okay, I don't want to do a Possessed Baran. That sucks. But... Temp Chains and Monster Can't Be Slowed. That's basically the same. Okay, that'll work. No regen, that's bad. That works. Less effective curses is fine. And that also works. Alright, great. I haven't made any huge updates to the Mercenary build. I did make one update after the video, which is just mainly that I got a pair of Painseeker gloves that have Despair on hit since I'm playing Chaos damage. So, got that. And then I switched the bow around slightly to just be like more cold and lightning damage. Fire damage, flat fire would be fine. Flat fizz is also fine. You know, not a huge difference on the bow. It really was just like more lightning, more cold. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't see the question before. This is PoE overlay. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. You know, it's an overlay for trade, and it's really good. Like, I do generally prefer it to using the trade site for when I'm trying to buy stuff that is, specifically like when I'm trying to buy stuff where I think people aren't going to respond, you know, like a map, for example. Like in this case, I think I've just been rate limited or the trade site's having some problems. You know, like you got 2 people who have all of the Vaults of Vitsiri on the economy listed and they're eating up all the spots at the top of the list. But a thing that's like nice about the PoE overlay is like you can see where some spots where like I've messaged them already, and so like if I hit research, normally I think this is having some problems because I think the website may be having problems, but normally the one, oh, there it is. The one that I had already sent a message to will be grayed out. So I won't be spamming the same person over and over again, and I won't have to like look and make sure that it's the same name. And, you know, it's annoying to be spammed. It's annoying to spam. I didn't mean to do this map. I don't want to do this map. Level 72, no, I'm good. But, yeah, I like the PoE overlay. Really, again, for, like, things where I feel like people are not gonna respond, and I have, like, a long list of people I'm gonna have to send buy messages to. Cool. I also like it for exactly this, like for quickly inviting and responding to people. But then for whatever reason, I don't love the price checker tool in the PoE overlay, and that's why I use, let me see, I think it's PoE Awaken Trade. Yeah, Awaken PoE Trade. For the price checker tool. So, like, I just like this particular layout of the price checker tool for Awaken PoE Trade. I don't even remember what the PoE overlay price checker looks like. It's not that different. Just one of those little things where, like, you know, I like one slightly better, so I'm willing to use 2 tools at the same time. And then after doing it for like 3 years or whatever, 3-4 years, you just forget that they're even 2 separate tools.
Pruning a branch can save a tree.
Oh, I didn't say thank you. It's very rude of me. Oh well, the time has passed now. It's too late. It would be weird. I'm gonna do it anyway.
I simply can't believe you've done
I
this.
did it anyway.
Simply cannot believe you've done this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like them both. I think they're both good tools. Alright. Why is that... Okay. I don't... What's this going for? 15 chaos? Okay, so it's just over the limit to trigger the divine orb sound. I thought for a second I'd gotten a divine. I was like, hey, oh. Just a map. Just a synth map.
Were we back in trouble? Let's go to
Ah, nice. Infamous mini shot. I believe mini shot is what I have recruited right now. You know, ice shot, frigid fork shot. That's that shot that looks like it's what, the like forking shot from Hydra, and then Volgrace, Mirror Arrow, Dash Grace. Okay, let's see what she's got going on.
family. You're
Okay, so Mirror and Blink Arrow, but no regular Grace. I think this is just a worse version of the one that I have. Yep, it really is. Oh, wow, 5 orbs of binding? You shouldn't have. Huh. I know this isn't a good neck or
Oh.
anything, but, like, could this be useful on a Merc, maybe? It's pretty bad. That's bad. Triple damage prefix are all pretty bad rolls, so nah. I don't think any of this gear is any good. And I don't really want to just fight her for no reason, but I don't want to lose renown, so I guess whatever, let's just blast her. There's probably a challenge for, like, killing enough infamous mercs or something, so I'll just do it for, yeah, whatever. I can't even see the item. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I can't even see the item through all my Toxic Rain MTX. The 1 out body armor drop. Maybe I would have rather had 5 binding orbs. Doesn't matter.
Let's make a mess.
Alright. Pretty good job of cleaning out the rest of this map so far. Almost to the end. Dropping a, Oh yeah, I was thinking this was an Elder map, but you're right, it's Elder Slayer, so you get to actually fight the map boss. Cool. Good. Great. And then maybe I'll get to fight, like, the map boss and 3 bonus map bosses because of the Maven, you know, both out at the portal and then inside here as well, maybe. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. I guess not. Not this time. Really not sure what causes that. I feel like it's a bug, but I don't know. Where you at, bud? There we go. Nice. Ow. Don't like that. Don't like that purple rain. Yeah, that's junk. I mean, is there a world in which any sort of suppressed body armor with no life could be useful for a mercenary? I don't think so. I don't think either of these could be useful either for anyone ever, but... What? Hunter, 84 item level shot green gloves? Yeah, I don't think so. I'll still stick them in a 20 chaos tab, and then, like, disenchant them at King's March tomorrow or something. If I remember.
Oh, there's like a Discord outage too.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, the content creator is down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Internet having problems again
The
today.
internet at large.
Just, yeah,
having
just the
issues.
royal internet. Yeah, not even...
Yeah, the royal internet.
Alright. This guy's gear is horrible, which is, like, great for me. So, I guess I'll take 4 Regal Orbs.
You just made me realize that people from, like, Pennsylvania are the only, I think the only ones that use a royal U.
Royal U?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't have that in any other. I don't think we have it in any other like popular dialects. Maybe like smaller or dialects.
Use?
Colloquialisms. I guess.
Use,
Not
guys?
really.
It's not exactly
really
the same.
No.
That's a lot of garbage on my screen there.
I couldn't find a role name I liked for us, so now we're just Cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah,
I love cheese.
I know.
I ate a sandwich of it earlier. The inappropriately named grilled cheese sandwich.
Yep.
It's clearly a fried cheese sandwich.
Yep.
Griddled cheese sandwich, really.
Sure, yeah.
I will say, even if you don't want to interact with Calgar, Settlers League, any of that at all, then I wouldn't blame anybody who doesn't want to. I still think it's worth it to take the notable for Calgar, the one that gives you a pretty good chance for all of your items to drop from possessed monsters to be converted into dust instead. Because, like, it only works on, like, rare gear. Rare gear that drops is, all, like, just universally worthless, you know. By this point in the league, most people have it just almost all filtered out. Other than, like, I don't know, influenced amethyst rings or whatever. And, like, getting that converted into dust is just great if you want to do any sort of recombinating at all later on in the league, which I do. There's just so much free dust. I've probably gotten like 90% of my dust from the notable, rather than from actually disenchanting stuff with Rog and the boys. This
Yeah, I
notable
think the
refiner's
British version
bargain.
is better. Toasted cheese.
Toasted cheese? Oh yeah. I would
mean,
say the build is progressing pretty well.
I was just gonna say I know why we call it grilled cheese, but.
What's that? Because it's made by girls? Grilled cheese sandwich?
Yes, because it's made by girls, that's right. Well, in this studio, at least it is.
Grilled cheese sandwich.
Yep, grilled cheese sandwich.
I missed... Where did I miss 50 monsters? Oh, all the way down there. Well, at this point, it's just too late. I already got the Maven to summon, I guess, just like 1 or 2 bosses, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it.
They also just call it cheese on toast, which is like, yeah.
I feel like that's a different thing. At least my mind says that's a different thing. That's just toast with cheese on it. Not a pan-fried sandwich.
Not a toasted cheese.
No.
No. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Let's talk about the really
Oh.
important stuff.
Good grief. It's its own thing. It's a hot dog.
I don't know. We'll see what chat has to say.
I feel like there's no situation in which you could make this useful for a merc, right? I mean, the block, I guess, for like an int merc, but then like just getting no damage out of it, like it's an attack staff. There's no merc that really makes use of an attack staff. So, junkaroo. Diamond ring? Redeemer Diamond Ring? 5, 10, 20 chaos? I don't think that's ever gonna sell, but again, throw that in a tab to rot. And then I'll clean the rot out in a couple of days. That's right. I know what gamers want. Gamers want Twitch and Discord and Nuggies.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're just gonna have to try to keep track of who everyone is, because everyone has a different username everywhere. And I'm just like, do we know you?
That's right.
It feels rude asking, like, do we know you?
The rudest thing in the world. Do I know you?
Do I know you?
Should I?
I guess it's more polite to be like, have we met?
That is a more polite version of
Kinda.
do I know you? Hold them down, put
Kinda. You
a
could
flashlight
make,
in their
have I-
directly in their eyes.
Have we met? Can also be rude.
I'll say.
Oh, see, we don't do that here. Well, we do that too, but that's a different thing.
Oh yeah.
Kinda.
I saw the Alton Brown video or episode or whatever where he like made troughs with aluminium foil, as they say, across the pond, and grilled the cheese and then like grilled the bread and made a sandwich that way. And I remember watching that at the time. I didn't really know who Alton Brown was, and I was like, this guy seems like a big nerd. And then I saw that and I was like,
He is
nerd confirmed. I don't like this. It seems like too much effort for grilled cheese. But now I've come
Yeah.
around. I get it. I get what he was doing. I didn't know then. These guys are
I missed
rough.
what you said he was doing. What episode was this? What was he doing?
Oh, he made like a trough out of aluminum foil, put that on a
Okay.
grill, and then he grilled bread on a grill.
Okay.
So it had like grill marks, you know?
Uh-huh.
And then he made a grilled cheese out of that.
Yeah, that is, I'd rather just use a panini press or whatever.
That's what I'm
you know,
saying.
An indoor grill, sandwich press.
These guys are too tanky. What's the deal? Oh. Nothing really. Nothing really going on. I just charged him up too much at the Verisium store. Okay.
Yeah, actually, Lerald and I are also, like, huge into food, like, YouTube food channels. So
Oh, yeah.
that's, like, what we watch. We try not to watch other people's content before we make videos because we don't want to plagiarize anything. It's, like,
Yeah.
a very, just, like, it's a intentional step that we take.
Yes, very much so.
Um,
I do draw inspiration from other YouTubers, but it's like Guga Foods or like thinking
Babish.
basketball. Like it's people that are wildly outside of the like video
Yeah.
game space, much less like Path of Exile specifically.
Yeah. But we like Alton Brown, and we love, like, watching, like 10 different chefs make breakfast or coffee or,
Oh yeah.
things like that. We like learning about other people's
Chefs blind taste hot dogs.
cultures
I'm like,
and-
yeah, let's find out about
yeah,
hot
and
dogs. How do they
traditional
do them up in
dishes.
How do they do them in Illinois? I'm curious. The answer
What I'm
is
trying
well.
to say is, if you're in the studio, you're gonna hear about food.
Oh yeah.
Look soft. Hurry up and decide.
Because that's pretty much all we talk about if we're not talking about gaming. Is food
It's
and
true.
rain.
Do be liking some food. Ooh. It's not a very good belt, but it could be good on nothing. It could be good on nothing. Alright, I tried. Also good on nothing. Damn. Like 2 good rolls and then just trash.
Well,
Alright, I'm a little worried about this guy being like a Bone Shatter Merc with Leap Slam. And a bunch of Chaos Res, you dick. Die. No chance. That's what you've got. That is correct. Hey, you've got options.
Yeah, whether you want to use them or not, that's on you. But
Is that the Herald guarantee that you've got options?
I guess so.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just work here.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have no idea. The Herald guarantee is that people will say your name wrong.
That's the Herald guarantee.
Yeah.
Leroyd strikes again. Leroyd.
Jarled.
I mean, Jarl at least makes sense. There's an excuse for Jarl.
True.
Alright, I love the Lost Karui goods. I like this mechanic a lot that comes from this node right here. Lost in transit, just 6% chance for the order deposits in your ship maps to be lost shipments instead. You can see sometimes they're Karui, as you can see. Sometimes they will be whatever the hell the other guys are. British people, I believe. So, you know.
Wow.
And sometimes they can have a shitload of stuff in them, like that one. It had 15 stacked decks. Oh, I actually have another thing. This neck, this crazy amulet that I have, came from one of these boxes. T3 dot multi, whatever, but like T1 int, Onyx amulet, Chaos skill gems, decent amount of life, like, 4 pretty great nodes on it. That came from one of these boxes randomly. This is like a 200 max life. I've had a couple that were like, close to 200 max life and like a resistance or 2, and then like 7-8% extra Fizz DR. Or I think I picked up like a ring or something that had like ring, helmet, something that had like 50% rarity. Sold that off for a divine. Like a lot of pretty well rolled items from this that would have obviously been part of a shipment that are instead just hanging out in the map waiting to be picked up. It does look really weird on your map overlay, though, to just see like a bunch of little yellow dots. And then the fact that there isn't like any sort of indicator for them all, you have to just like kind of click around. It doesn't say their name other than the main shipment box. That's a little weird. But I think the mechanic that I've gotten the most currency from this league so far, that I've actually turned into liquid currency, other than like, one really good div card, is my bag's full already, is the Calgar shipments, because I've just gotten like really valuable tattoos. Oh yeah, Crops is still King's March meta for sure. I've just been shipping crap out so far, just ore and herbs and whatever, and like it's definitely not the right way to do it, but it's just what I got.
Honestly, my biggest pet peeve in Diablo and Path of Exile is the bag. I think that's my biggest pet peeve. I just hate the bag. I hate how small it is. I hate how everything takes tons of space.
Yeah.
I just, my biggest pet peeve. I mean, you deal with it because you want to play or whatever, but I'm just annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Just want to fold everything up into a little square. This is a cloak. I could fold this a couple of times and put it in a little square.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I saw somebody complaining about King's March, about like not having enough gold for it the other day on the Reddit, and they were saying, like I'm early in maps and I don't have enough gold to do the King's March, and it's like, exactly. No, that is correct, but that's not like a problem. That's just the state of King's March. Like, it's very much a mechanic that you can start playing around with early on and do just like some random shipments. But really, right now, it is oriented very much for like your set and rep maps. You don't really have like, yeah, I mean, no other use for gold, right? Your mercenary's not dying over and over again. Now you can just start dumping the rest of your gold into King's March, and then it becomes this just like, you log off for the night, you wake up, and you've got a mirror shard, or you've got like a couple of divines waiting for you when you log back in, and that is really, I think, the end goal with King's March. And it's pretty great. And then in terms of its like intrusiveness or whatever into maps, I feel like, did I miss a Vexillum thing, something? No. Nope, guess not. He's just tanky. In terms of the impact in maps, like, I mean, you can just walk past the ore. You don't have to do it, but a lot of the ore is just very, very quick. And then it throws you a bunch of gold. I'm not keen that King's March is back either. I really wasn't beforehand. I'm more positive now that I've played with it and gotten, like, several raw divines in very, very little, like, time investment. And then also, like, more than that much worth of, yeah, I've maybe got, like, 3 raw divines or something, but then I've probably gotten, like, 5 divines worth of tattoos, if not more. So that's good. But it could have never come back, and I would have also been okay with that. Probably happier. I think you talk with Johan once you get to, I think it's the end of the campaign. Yeah.
Where's your other server boost?
I don't know. Our other server, I think.
Oh, okay. You should just move it over here.
Yeah, well.
I just moved mine.
Okay.
That'll put us just a couple away from the second level, which will be
Sweet.
useful.
Oh, yeah. Is this guy stuck inside the wall? Am I not going to be able to... Oh, it's fine. That's just a regular monster, not part of the ore. Okay, cool. Something they did with King's March that I'd like to see them do with, like, more... I like mercenaries, fine. But, like, future League mechanics that are a bit more traditional, that I would like to just see them continue is, like, King's March, you get, like, buffs from doing the ore. Some of the ore, anyway. You get, like, buffs from the bismuth, buffs from the, whatever the hell the one I just did is, the demon metal. I've already forgotten what it's called. I will never remember what it's called. That is the Larold guarantee. I will never remember anything. Including this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember, clearly. But, like, getting the buff from that, getting the buff from the bismuth. I think that's cool. I guess you don't really get a buff from the petrified amber? Petrified wood, whatever. Or from the vericium. Vericium I remember. But vericium, you get the pretty valuable boss. So, like, can't complain. It is also, like, good practice, I suppose, to just have the boat. Like, boats just going constantly, even if they're just shipping, like, the minimum, which is, like, 50k now instead of, like, 1. But that's okay. Hey, Nate. I do agree with that, Ryan. I really do wish that the mercs had, like, a little bit of extra juice for their auras for the range. Like, you know, I like that they, like, I don't know, benefit from your, domination shrines and stuff. Like, that's cool. And they move pretty quickly. If it's, like, a ranged merc and you're a ranged player, they do a decent job of standing near you. I think if you're a melee player and a melee merc, they probably do a decent job of standing near you. But yeah, if you're trying to do that logical thing of like, I'm melee, I'll get a range to stand behind me and blast. Or I'm ranged, I'll get a melee and stand in front of me and tank. That doesn't seem to have worked nearly as well. Certainly that last setup didn't work as well for me. But yeah, the first time I did the fisherman, whatever his name is, pirate boss from the town, I got the gloves. Yeah, that's it, orichalcum. Orichalcum. Thank you. The first time I killed him, I got the gloves that are like give you a chance to get like max rage whenever you generate rage, and then they had, I think they have a range of like 1 to 3 melee skill gem levels, and at the time. They rolled with 3 max rolls, like very, very well rolled version of them. And I think at the time, like a pretty good pair of them was going for like, you know, 1 or 2 divines and like a really good pair, which is what I had. I went like, let's see, like 5 or 6 or something. And then as soon as I sold that, I was like, all right, it's, you know, proper Toxic Rainbow time then. So definitely appreciate King's March for that. It basically is the reason I have like a good-ish neck and a Toxic Rainbow. We're almost killed everything. I just wanted to kill that guy, and then we'll move on to the bosses. Junk. All junk. That's nothing. You see triple flat damage prefix, and for a second your brain goes like PoE 2. Oh my god, no wait, that's trash. Do I just want to exile this guy? Yeah, absolutely. This guy's gear and like loot rewards are terrible. Oh! Wait, is he also... I'm not sure if I was seeing that or if he was also benefiting from the shrines. Whatever. We're just going to move past it. I didn't die and he's out of here, so whatever. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. For the bow, no, I just did, like, the standard Toxic Rain, like a million alt spam roll until I finally got, T1 attack speed, and then, Beast Imprint, and Regal, and then Annul, and then annul the wrong mod and have to, like, re-imprint it a couple of times, and then finally like annul it down to just the one yellow, like just the one attack speed mod on a yellow bow, and then like just the whole rest of the crafting steps from there. Multi-mod, can't roll attacks, regular exalt, hunter exalt, remove crafted mods, multi-mod again, chaos dot multi, and +2 level of socketed support gems. Ta-da! Harvest craft and you're good to go. Or harvest, enchant, I should say. Don't think this is useful for anything, but like the idea of getting like a Baron Mercenary? No. Yeah, I mean, getting 500 strength on a merc, there's no way. I don't even know. There is like one version of a zombie int caster merc, but she's... I mean, she did kill me a couple of times, but I feel like she's not good, so I don't think there's ever a use for Baron merc, but whatever, I'll hang on to that for now. I think I have another Maven fight here to do. Yeah. Elder Slayers. Oh, no. Oh, I remember how the last time I did this went. That seems great. Oh, wait. Isn't this exactly the thing, increased monster damage? Isn't that exactly the thing that killed my Merc last time and made this just an act of violence against me? Chilled ground, enfeeble, and chaos res and life. Yeah, no. Life, no. Increased area of effect is so bad on Elder Slayers. Specifically thinking of like Veritania. The rest of this is really easy. But I don't want like Veritania to kill my Merc, so whatever. Let's just send it. I mean, I have so much more damage now than I did last time when I barely squeaked out a victory over these guys, so shouldn't be too bad. Who is that? That's Al-Hazmin? Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that damage. Oh, hello, Veritania. He's too quick. He is too quick. He is pretty quick, actually. I do not like how quick he is. Time to die, Al-Hazmin. Oh. I think he died, and I think she landed on my Merc. Not very polite. I wonder if there is something I could set up on my Mercenary to make it so that they could be the one preventing enemies from getting life regen. I haven't thought about that until just now, into looking like just into preventing life regen. I know there is some modifier from Eldritch Currency. I'm just not sure what it is. 50% reduced life recovery rate when you hit enemies or something. I would assume that's on gloves, but maybe it's weird like body armor. In which case, I could just roll that on right now, and then I'd have, between me and the Mercenary, if they stack, I'd have 100% life recovery reduction on enemies, which would be pretty great. Let's take a look. Craft of Exile, Flashbang once again. Let's check body armor. Implicits. Should have thought about this earlier, but I didn't. Okay, Arctic armor, chaos damage, blah, 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 blah. Effective non-curse auras from your skills, considering I'm getting Grace from the Merc. Not bad. That might be a move. Instead of whatever the hell it is I have on there right now. What do I have? 7% increase effect of your curses. Also okay, but I think 7% increase of effect of a baseline despair is like maybe 1 chaos res less, so actually that's pretty bad. Thank you, Old Spirit. I agree. They definitely are getting just absolutely torqued now. And I still have cluster jewels to add, so like the potential damage is just gonna keep rising. Crit multi for attack damage probably is the smartest thing I could add for the Merc, just because you know, of like the the shock scaling, mostly the amount of like extra chill and shock effect. All right. Fizz taken as elemental, I feel pretty like that's pretty good. Just makes her tankier. I mean, you could do life recovery rate where you can get like 7-8% for pretty cheap. That wouldn't be too bad. Not the hugest deal in the world though. I'd love to have like I would love to make her be reduced, or give her reduced reflected damage taken, and like actually be able to just run all the reflect maps that I normally am able to run without thinking about them. Because I'm chaos damage build. My plan for getting around that, I think it was gloves. Unfortunately, she's using unique gloves, so if that is the case, there's just no way to make that work. My plan for getting around the fact that she does elemental damage, and I'd like to go back to her being able to, or whatever, her also doing chaos damage and not, like, dealing with Reflect is just to use full Taxic Rift, which is like, I mean, there's good synergy, right? I'm withering everything like a lot. Voltaxic. But on the other hand, I think Voltaxic Rift is still not that bad. It's only 3 divines now. It was 11 last I looked. So, all right. Yeah, I think when it drops down into the like 1 to 2 divine range, I might buy one for my Merc and just see how I feel about the damage. Because I'd love to be getting like 50% shocks out of her and her doing chaos damage instead of lightning damage. That would be great. Unnerve, extinguish, intimidate. None of this. None of this. Aggravate, hinder, ba-ba-da-ba-da. Is it a helm implicit? I know there is a modifier that causes enemies you've hit to have reduced. It's an Eldritch implicit that gives like reduced life recovery on enemies you hit. I thought it was either gloves or body armor because those make the most sense. Maybe it's helm. Let's just keep going. I mean, I could search, but it's kind of nice to like look through the rest and just see like, is there anything really good in here that I wasn't thinking about? Reduce mana cost of attacks isn't exactly important for the mercenary. Yeah, I mean, none of this seems all that important or great. You know, Despair Curse effect wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, 10% or whatever, but not a huge deal. Freeze, Ignite, Shock, Duration of Ailments on enemies could actually be kind of useful as a helm implicit. Like, I've been just using Leercast on her because, you know, free damage for me. Still think that's the right call, but I'm sure that a really well-rolled rare helm could be better on her if she's actually adding enough damage. There it is. Enemies you've hit recently have a crazy amount of reduced life regenerate. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Yeah, that would do it. Yeah, I am using that one because of doing all the Maven stuff. I'm using Soul of Rizlafa. It isn't exactly bad for a Pathfinder anyway, you know, increased life recovery from Flask if you use one low life. Low life is only 50%, so, you know, pretty easy to get, take advantage of that. You see your life look like it's a little below half, tap it real quick. Gonna do that anyway, and then obviously getting life flasks charges back anytime you haven't hit it recently is okay, so... You know, I'd rather run like Aberith, make Ignite pretty easy to deal with, and then be Burning Ground immune. That'd be great, but since I don't have any other way to prevent monsters from regenerating crazy amounts of health when I'm doing Maven Witness fights, that's just what I've been going with. I don't think any of these bases are any good, unfortunately. Let's see, I have one beach map here, just a rando beach map. Sure, I'll throw that in. What was I doing with my other tree? I think my tree number 1, I was playing around with using this setup with like strong boxes. I don't know what I was doing here. And then shrines, and then just like the very bare minimum Settlers of Kalgur, just like the keystone just to convert like items into dust for cheap. But I think I probably want to drop even those points and just come up here and take, like... I was using this for memories, I think. To take, like, Grasp the Past to get, like, more memory strands. I don't really know which boss I would want to go toward more than any of the others. So, no idea. Yet. I haven't sat and thought about that at all. And then this tree I was using is, like, my second farm tree. No, I haven't dropped Arctic Armor. I'm still using it. This tree I was using is like a combination of Kalgur and Expedition. I like Expedition, but like I've been getting killed trying to do some really juicy ones, so I kind of wanted to take a break from that, but it is very good. Let's see. Okay, I know what to do. I'll just do like... Oh, I am one synth map away from, another Maven invitation? Sure, let's do that. I was going to do a whole round of Maven invitation synth maps, but that'll work. I know most of the Maven invitation stuff, or the scarabs and all. And I think up the stakes or whatever the keystone is for Maven doesn't work in the synth maps. I could be wrong. Maybe that does work. But I know the scarabs obviously don't. That's okay, though. Synth maps are pretty amazing for gold. Even if nothing else, even if it's just simply that you can just print out like 20, 30,000 gold in a map without, like, really any investment at all. I think mana-wise, I probably could afford to drop Arctic Armor for something else. I just don't really have an idea what I would want to use in its place, which is why I'm still using it. Like, I played around with Petrified Blood, and I can never remember Blood and Sand stance versus the other one, Flesh and Stone, but whichever one is like, you know, the Sand stance makes you more tanky. Kind of like Arctic Armor more. It doesn't have the, like, positional requirement. The Blood and Sand is very close range. And then I've just never liked Petrified Blood mechanically. Like, I just don't like it. I know a lot of people do. I know it's not bad. Wait, I want to clear this map out just in case she does summon other guys. Get more bosses at once. And more of that sweet, sweet gold. Nice. Yeah, logbooks. I mean, I'm glad that logbooks in PoE 2 feel good now in the second patch of PoE 2, but they felt terrible in the first one. I love logbooks in PoE 1. They're super fun. Super rewarding. Expedition in general just feels a lot better in PoE 1 than it does in PoE 2. It's entirely just because of Tujin, but, like, that's all you need, right? Just a guy who hands you money for free will kind of fix things. Alright, boss time. Yeah, no, she didn't summon summoning anything else. I didn't think so. I couldn't remember, you know. What's up? Vortex, nice. Yeah, Tujin rocks. How much is Cortex going for now? 70 Chaos. Ooh, Bottled Faith is good. And Garb is amazing. Garb of the Ephemeral, 6 Divines. Sick. I mean, so good for mercenaries, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think these are worth anything. Ah, that's so annoying to get like a perfect lightning damage roll while affected by Herald of Thunder, and then the other one's just is a real stinker. Oh well. Tis what it
Your audio
is.
cut out for a moment there.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Oh, weird.
You tapped into something that was capturing your audio.
Maybe.
Alright.
I would certainly love to have a larger bag. I would love to have the backpack back from Affliction League. That was a good one. Let me see. Where the hell do I want to put this point? I put a point in here for attack mana cost because I haven't quite fixed my mana yet without it. I don't really know where I want to put another point. I kind of like the point, the 4% life when you use a flask, but since I am using Frenzy Charges, I think I'll just do this. Extra Frenzy Charge. Nice and easy. Oh man. I wish Mercenaries would go core. I really like them. It does seem unlikely, but I didn't think after a year of King's March that there was any chance it would go core, and here it is. I think given everything else, all the baggage that went on surrounding Settlers. I think that they've done about as good of a job of making King's March be core as they possibly could, you know. Oh man, I kind of miss that life from each flask use right now, to be honest. I mean, yeah, of course, I get random one-shot from time to time. I would say it doesn't really feel like it happens that much anymore, although I say that as I'm, like, dying to these guys, but not that terribly. I feel like some of these, boss mechanic animations aren't loading in. That's what I'm telling myself. I mean, even if they were, how could I possibly see them? Through the Toxic Rain spam. That's definitely the biggest downside of this build. Just simply the visual overload. Couple of synth items. Some worthless fractured items. Okay, that's terrible. Terrible. Also terrible. Alright, well, I tried. I mean, the biggest advantage I think that Kintsugi has going for it over Lightning Coil, really, it's two, right? One, it doesn't have a life roll on it, which sounds bad, but it means you can take the life mastery that gives you 15% max life. I think that's better than getting like 70 life out of a Lightning Coil or whatever. And then the other one is just, it has resistance on it instead of negative. So, you know, you're at a whatever, like a disparity of like 100 net resistance difference between Kintsugi and Lightning Coil. Oh. Well, I don't know that I really want to play like a Herald of Agony build right now, but this is pretty great. If you wanted to play Hoag, this would be alright. Sure. Just fill up my junk tab that I'll eventually sell everything out of for nothing. Alright, I think I'll do another set of those synth map bosses. See if I can find more Cortexes. See how much gold I get out of it, too. Out of 4 maps. Yeah, that's the cursive evasion, though. Ultimately, you're always bound to get one shot eventually.
Don't bother dodging.
Well said. I like that they brought back the voice actress for a lot of Heist. Who is that? The voice actress for not Talina, the other one, the actress character. You can hear a lot of the voices that she does to like act like a guard. You can hear those voices in like a lot of the mercs. Although, you know, with the way that GGG does like content development, she might have recorded that stuff way back then, and they've just been sitting on it and just had it in the vault for like a couple of years. Well, the thing with the max life versus like the 70 flat life is that it's going to depend on how much other life you have in your gear, and then also from the tree. At least with the point that I'm at right now, gear-wise, yeah, 70, like a 70 flat life roll or so from a Lightning Coil is probably a little bit less than I would get out of the 15% max life because of having none on a Kintsugi. But, you know, your mileage may vary. They're not that far off from each other, though, for sure. But, like, 5,500 life, I think, is just about the most I've ever had as Toxic Rain. Which I haven't played Toxic Rain Pathfinder throughout all of Settlers League. And Settlers League is when they tuned up the, like, flat life rolls on a lot of rare, basically all rare items, and then left them the same on most uniques to like deliberately make a lot of uniques weaker, specifically Lightning Coil. I think that was a big part of my decision making in not playing Toxic Rain last league and playing like Slam Berserker to start the league, which I did really enjoy quite a lot. No regrets, ultimately. But, you know, had I known that it was going to be an 11.5-month league, I would have started Toxic Rain and then just said, like, alright, second character will be Slam Man. I didn't know. I didn't know I had time. I didn't know I had a year. I've seen people posting pictures of their kids, like their freshly delivered children, who are like, yeah, she was conceived a month and a half or 2 months into Settlers League. Here
Oh,
she
no.
is. Here she
Oh,
is,
no.
just in time for Mercenary League.
Oh no.
That rocks. Yeah, that's the same voice actress for sure. I mean, look, there can't be that many voice actors and actresses in, in the nation of New Zealand. Not that they all have to be New Zealand actors and actresses, but, you know, probably makes it easier. If they are. Yeah, another double brawler chaos damage while affected by whatever. Circle of Nostalgia. This was not nearly as good. That's okay. I feel like I pulled down way more gold in each of these maps last league, but I am kind of thinking about like the build toward the end of the league when I like had a Mage Blood and I had like, I don't know, 100 rarity or something on my character, and then I was using a gold flask with the Mage Blood and it was rolled up, and so, you know, probably was rocking. I don't remember. Maybe it was 100 rarity with the flask. Either way. I don't know how much rarity I'm getting right now out of just the gold flask and nothing else. 92. Pretty good, actually. Yeah, maybe the gold value's down. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe they nerfed it. Either way. I think the biggest thing that I'm happy with about using Kintsugi over Lightning Coil, although maybe it was a little rocky at some points, is just simply that like I can afford to use a gold flask and get 90-something rarity, as opposed to having to use like a lightning flask or topaz flask to carry the lightning res from Coil. I'm okay with Coil existing, like, you know, in its current kind of weakened state, but they've made such a, like, hard effort to just destroy all damage taken as elsewhere in the game that it did just kind of make me go, like, alright, I get it, you want it to die. I'm not gonna fight too hard, you know? I liked lightning, or damage taken as, I like damage, you know, shift as a defensive approach. I thought it was just about the strongest defensive approach you could take. And that is why they nerfed it, but since they did, like, fine. I'll try the other thing, the thing that you're trying to push on us. I feel like despite a bit of a rocky start, this is definitely like slamming. Oh yeah. Oh, many such cases on that with the bow rolling. It happened to me too, like my first roll on the bow, I didn't imprint it. I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking. And I like regaled and annulled and lost it, and I was like, alright, I don't know why I did that. introduce myself to like another 20-30 minutes of rolling the bow to get back to a T1 life or a T1 attack speed roll. Very annoying. I think I just felt like, I'm feeling lucky. I got a T1 attack speed roll very quickly. This is going my way. And then, nope. Hell no. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? Is a good roll on a rare would probably be better. A good rare is probably better than the Kintsugi, ultimately. Like, Kintsugi just gives you, like, the damage reduction from the first hit. A very, very, very well-rolled rare would also give you Eldritch... Eldritch implicits, so... Damn it! I'm standing in a circle and I can't see it because of... Oh, well. Doesn't matter. Stupid Toxic Rain pods. Why do I love you so much, Toxic Rain? There we go. Okay, yeah, I really do miss that life coming from using flasks. That definitely would have carried me there. What do I put a point into, though, in order to get that? Because it's not like I care about... Oh, I know. There we go. All right, now what do I do a point with? Yeah, I didn't need Primal Spirit. I haven't needed that for a while. Ugh. I mean, I could just do another Jewel. That could work for now. And then I guess I just drop this, like, prevent 3% of suppressed spell damage. It's not like I need it. There we go. That'll work again. I'll get Cluster Jewels figured out here soon enough. I'll bother with them. No, I mean, there's no reason to start crafting on a bow until you have the T1 attack speed. It's such an expensive craft for, like, a... You know, a piece of gear that's at the level that it is. It's not like it's some mirror tier bow or anything, but like you have to multi-mod it and all that, so like it's quite a bit of currency spent on a Toxic Rain bow. So you don't want to start with like anything less than the best attack speed roll. Alright, I probably have some good... Here we go. Just basic stats and cast stop multi, that's bad.
Emoji.
Lasagna?
That's right.
Like Garfield.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say yes. You know, this isn't like a great rare jewel. I mean, it's not even a good rare jewel, in fact. Alright, that'll work. That's pretty good. Doesn't have life on it. Should get a life one, but that's fine, right? Dot multi, damage over time, doesn't matter. Flask effect duration. I'll take that for the time being. That'll work. Alright, I got quite a lot of points that I can like these four, and probably these over here, and definitely like these over here, two, and probably these three, to pull out into cluster jewels as needed, so that'll do it. Nice, congrats. Be sure to make an imprint at the bestiary so that you're now like locked in on that T1. You don't have to get it again. Crikit Chimerals, if I remember correctly, it's those are Finnable Plagued Arachnids. Oh, it's Forget Which, but yeah. Get some of those, make an imprint, then you're on your way. Then it's just good luck with the Hunter Exalted Orb prefix. You know, hopefully it rolls T1. T2 is very close to T1. The T1 range on the increased chaos damage over time, you know, it's like 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89 for the like 4, 3, 2, and then the one roll is only like 90 to 94, so not a huge deal. It's not like the damage difference between even like a T4 and a T3 is, or T2 is like that big, couple percent, but it does feel good to get a good roll. Hello. Yeah, so, you know, the whole plan here, the whole point of tonight's little stream was just like, are the mercenaries trash now? And the answer is, Reddit lied. What a shock.
Hmm.
Well, that's the nice version of it, right? The alternative is that they're doing it wrong. They're bad. Reddit's bad. It's bad or lied. I'd rather be, I don't know, would you rather be a liar or bad and not know it? Bad and not know it is definitely worse than bad and knowing it. Yeah, I'd rather be a liar. Or would I?
Mm.
Yes. I don't know what their situation is. I don't remember. Maybe, you know, they were like trying to take a map that, or a merc that they recruited, like a T7 map into T16s or something, you know? I just remember reading like melee merc, pretty tanky, red maps. And I was like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. Sounds not great, but my mercenary still feels completely unkillable. Maybe more than she was before, even. Nah, I'm sure she's the same, but hasn't gotten remotely close to death, even doing a bunch of Maven invitations, which it's not like they're tier 17s, right? I'm not having her go face tank a bunch of tier 17 monsters, but I'm not ready to do that either, so that's alright. Yeah, that's right. Oof. Oh yeah, that life recovery on using the flask is just muy bueno. Cannot give that up.
Moi?
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Ay caramba.
Okay.
Herald of Thunder has buff effect and increased lightning damage. I think this is still junk. Yeah, 10 chaos at best. Probably the best rolled one I got. Circle of Regret. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, look, it's not like any of these various Herald rings are any good. That's okay. All right. Last map here. And we'll do the invite.
Right the guts.
This is the one that sucks. Augmented distant memory is terrible. This layout is so bad. I mean, it looks cool, right? A burning library with like blue memory goo all over it. Hey, what's up, CJ?
Bye, old spirit. See you
Yep,
later.
have a nice dinner. Thanks for watching.
Definitely on the other side of the globe. And upside down.
That's right.
Must be hard to eat
That's
dinner
right.
like that.
Gravity harnesses.
Yeah, must be hard to eat dinner like that. Hi, CJ. Aren't you in our WoW streams too? Or used to be? Maybe?
I did Porcupine Bow as my first upgrade. When just like first getting to maps. Just a nice 6-link bow really helps a lot with having like enough damage for anything to die. And then Kintsugi was like the second thing I went after though. It helps a lot.
future is still somewhat bright. Okay.
That's right.
That's what they teach us here in America, that if you live south of the equator, you're upside down.
That's right.
That should explain a lot about Americans.
Oh yeah. They teach us a lot of other even stupider stuff, but you know,
Yeah.
that's
a lot of
just
things
the
that aren't
highlights.
actually real, too.
Yeah. That's the American way.
America.
Dumb and proud.
Yep.
This is the worst layout. All that stuff back there is all the way back around here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Toxic Rain, I know it's, like, not the most, but, like, whatever. Not the meta build, right? That's okay. I mean, for good reason. Like, the damage takes... The combination of, like, damage and tankiness and speed takes a little bit of time to come online. Like, speed you've got from the start, because you're a Pathfinder. But there are definitely other builds that, like, have their damage spike happen a little sooner. But the thing I like about Pathfinder and Toxic Rain, Pathfinder more specifically, is like every single upgrade along the way, you really, really, really feel it. You know, it's not like a lot of ascendancies, whatever you feel like, you know, the first couple of points, you really feel them. You feel like that third ascendancy, and then, you know, in the fourth trial, it's like, whatever, don't even need it. Barely does anything. Like, every single one of the upgrades along the way with Toxic Rain, Pathfinder, you just absolutely feel it, you know, the moment that it lands. Feel the speed increase, feel that, like, oh yeah, no, I'm a million times tankier now. My damage just doubled, all of that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that aspect of Toxic Rain, too. Like, that is the one thing I've always really liked about, like, mine and trap builds. Miners more than trappers. I can't really remember the last time I played a trapper for any length of time. Probably should revisit trappers. It's been a while. But, either way. Why did I pick this up? Junk. But yeah, being able to just pre-fire like a million pods for Toxic Rain has always been really nice. Reflect. See, this would be great, right? But I'm worried that the LE Reflect will kill my Merc. So, I'm not going to do it. I hate having the reduce. I hate reduced aura effect. It's not like it is unplayable, but I just hate it. More life and bosses have increased life. Ugh, that's going to be just very, very slow and boring. Less area of effect is actually pretty bad. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's true. It's true. From T11 to Tier 15 maps, I mean, I think Expedition is, like, always good. But especially, like, through the first, like, run through up to Tier 16s, Expedition's kind of, like, always my move. Oh. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. That was bad. I am standing in the black pool of, whatever these fights are, like synth black pools. I can't see them, but I think they do like physical damage over time, and they're just destroying me. I think it's not spell damage. Yeah. Okay. Ugh. Obviously, I can't see them. How could I? They're hidden under Caustic Arrow and Toxic Rain. Alright. Last boss left. Very nice. Alright. Another Maven invitation done. That's pretty good. Pretty decent. Return on the time. Got 2 writs to sell. Go ahead and sell those off. And I think that might do it for us for the night. Oh, just 1 second here. Alrighty. Oh, alright, cool. Currency flowing in. Excellent. Yeah, I see a lot of people are playing Cold Dot this league. I mean, it seems pretty good. I actually thought with all the buffs that, like, obviously playing Toxic Rain first, but then once that's done, I had thought, like, maybe I'll give that a shot too after, you know, after I've felt like I've hit the distance I want to go with Toxic Rain. I am using Caustic Arrow. I'm using it in a trigger setup, Mana Forged Arrow setup. And then I'm using it because I corrupted CA and got Vol CA, level 2020, with Vol CA, which is like pretty expensive actually. So, you know, hooked up to a usual setup, but then because the mana cost on it's pretty high, I threw Life Tap in, which Life Tap actually has the added benefit of giving you more life recovery from flasks. So it's actually like just genuinely pretty good. Sure. Genuinely pretty good as a like Pathfinder build of any kind to have Life Tap in your build somewhere to give you just more like life from Life Flask all the time. And then it works really well for clear. And then so I still have another Mana Forged Arrow set up, but it's just like Frenzy and Toxic Rain of Withering hooked together with like Mana Forged Arrows and Coaling Strike, and that's it. Just given built-in Frenzy charges that works all the time, including in single target, unlike like say Blood Frenzy or something. It doesn't have the like life drain that Blood Frenzy does. And then, you know, the built-in Wither stacks from Toxic Rain of Withering. And Coaling Strike, obviously, is nice. Whatever, I can do a little more. I can go a little longer. What do I do? Oh, hey, here we go. I gotta, you know what? I'll just keep the Maven train going for now. I've been enjoying Maven runs. I usually don't, but I don't know. Just been kind of enjoying it this league. I've had some pretty decent luck with, you know, like special drops from Maven. Although I'm jinxing myself now that I say that. Like I feel like I haven't had a single like awakened orb drop throughout this stream. And I'm saying that so that, like, by saying that, oh, I've had bad luck. Oh, my luck has been so bad. Streamer client, activate. You know?
You can do that?
Well, we're gonna see.
I've heard about it.
I mean, streamer client activate. I turned on recording earlier in the league, like day 2 of the league, and then this dropped. I just have it sitting in a tab, just accumulating value. But right now, House of Mirrors is going for House Divines 46. Easy. Instant sell for 46. If you wanted to buy one, it's 48. So, you know. Streamer client, maybe activate. Damn it, Reflect. I don't even know for sure that Reflect actually will kill my Mercenary. I just assume it will. And I don't want to gamble. God. More life and increased attack and cast speed on a Minotaur map is brutal. No thank you. More life for a chance. That's not like that's much better, but I'll take it. Okay. This is fine. Yeah, these are fine. Although I do want to chisel that one up, or both of these up to 20. Because of, what is it, this one? 3% map mod effect per 5 map quality. Obviously doesn't round up, so yeah. I suppose I could be using some sort of map, whatever, like a map craft, like domination or something, but I don't know, quant isn't bad. It's fine. It's free.
One of my captors refused redemption. He did not see value in a new life. Now, he likes us.
I want to change the Discord icon to something else. Something, you know, that pops a bit more. Right now it's an empty bed because we're skipping sleep. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
was thinking about something else. I don't know what, though.
Leave for me.
Not going to use the PoE logo.
No.
That's too on the nose for me.
Yeah, well, it's not like we only do PoE either.
We need to make more graphic design friends, is what I'm learning.
Yeah, well, that's true.
We have a
'Cause I
significant
suck
lack
at
of
it.
those. We have a significant lack of those in our life.
True. Oh, hell yeah. This is why we do it. Folks, this is why we do it. This is why we get out of bed in the afternoon. This right here. Starfall Crater time. Hell yes. This is why I have been doing King's March stuff this whole time. Please do not disconnect.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh no. Oh, I'm
Oh,
not
no.
feeling confident about getting into this Starfall Crater at all.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay, please load in without killing me. Please load in without disconnecting or killing me.
Making a lot of demands.
Okay, the zone is loaded in, and it's sort of playable. I mean, technically speaking, this boss is, like, not flagged. Oh, no, he is. The thing showed up. The debuff. No pausing. Alright. Ooh, no pausing, but boy, FPS is allowed to suck. I like this fight. Unlike the other fight, the, whatever it's called. I don't like the pirate fight at all. I think that fight is real bad. But I like this fight, and honestly, the other fight, the one that you get for, what is it, like the bandit fight or whatever from King's March, the one that you get for like rescuing mercenaries who are, or mappers. That one, I think by the time I finally did it for the first time in Settlers League, I was so damn strong that I could, like, kill God. And so that fight just fell over immediately, so I never really did it. Like, for real. I mean, I killed it a bunch of times, but, you know, it's like, there's a white mob by the time I got to him, so I don't even know what he does.
Show me what you've got. I'm finally starting to enjoy myself. You fight well.
Alright.
Partake.
447 Verisiamore. That's okay. Come on's fallen. What? What? I didn't get anything. I didn't even get a unique. That's absurd. Alright, well, I'm feeling disappointed right now. Did I at least get gold? I don't even feel like I got gold. I must have. But I do feel like I got ripped off.
Let's make a mess.
By the ire of innocence, I denounce you.
Oh, hello, Reflecting Mist. Fingers crossed I can get some negative light res. Sell that off to a degenerate who's exploiting their overpowered mercenary and Doriani's prototype. I mean, I'd be doing it too if it worked for me, but it doesn't. Okay, this sucks. I'm not even gonna bother to take either of those. This guy, Scarab of Wisps. That's it. That's all he's offering, basically, is a crappy-ass Scarab of Wisps. Blah. Yeah, you're exiled, bro. Oh yeah, meant to set a portal in this map, or in this room, or just outside, just in case. You know, that's a habit I have always had. I've been really good, especially since they added the ability to keybind. Portal, setting a portal. Just done a really good job of always setting a portal, like right at or outside the boss room, just in case. So don't feel the need for cast on death portal, but then Path of Exile 2 with having checkpoints right outside of the boss, you know, if you die in the map, kind of gotten out of the habit. Yeah, mappers in Settlers League were like very reliant on having just an egregious amount of gold in order for them to be any good. Otherwise, they really were bad because you basically had to have them all be like max level or very close. Like they basically cut all the levels in half, so I guess they would need to be like 4s and 5s now for them to be any good. And I haven't played around with them at all to see if that's changed. They were preposterously expensive at that level. I think they might be lower now. I did play around with Wind Dancer and Kintsugi for a little while, when I was still like kind of getting gear, you know, together, like day 2, day 3, and I liked it. I do think it is good for like a little while, like a little pit stop, and then I think you can kind of come back out of Wind Dancer if you want. I mean, you can just stick with it long term. You know, it does have both upsides and downsides, and like the downside, little scary. The upside's great, though, you know, that first hit doing almost no damage. Especially with the playstyle of, like, pretty much all bow builds kind of moving all the time. I think it works pretty well. Ah, Cassia, I'm so sorry, but I'm not spec'd into you, so I'm going to be leaving you here. You're not putting me in a prison of frost. That's better. Yeah, I think I wound up using the Wind Dancer Kintsugi combo like around the like level 88 to 90 range, like in there. And then once I felt like the build was a little bit more online, a little stronger, like basically after I crafted like a proper thicket bow rather than just continuing to use like a porcupine short bow, you know, like essence mods, that's when I felt like, yeah, I don't think I need this anymore. Infamous Bastion with a spectral shield throw of Trarthus, finally! Alright, this was what I had originally planned my second build of the league to be. I don't know that it's actually going to wind up being that, you know, that being the case. That is a really, really bad shield he's wearing, so I don't think this guy's going to be too dangerous. And I'd like this gem anyway, so I'm just going to kill him. Take his cool skill gem. I think this is worth like 2 or 3 chaos, so like I could just buy it for nothing. Let's see. Oh, hold on. They sell 152 to a... Who's doing that? Who's selling 152 of these at a time? Come on, man. What are you doing? Imagine gathering 152 of these, and imagine needing 152 of them at once. What are you doing? Something unethical. Man, I did a terrible job with this tree. I guess I don't care, but it was bad. Time to die, ladies. All of these bosses that came out were female. Hydra, Era, Sister of Light. You don't get called Sister of Light if you're a guy. Then the other one was a spider, and as we all know, spiders are all female. So, all ladies. And I'm not sure what the fourth one was, but we're gonna guess girl. Alright. Did I have one of these sitting around already? Arthas. Toxic Green Arthas. Okay, I have Spectral Charthas, Spectral Shield Throw, Spectral Helix, Storm Call, Blast Rain, and Chain Hook. I don't really remember how these work. Oh yeah, Spectral Helix, you have to make a trap out of it, and then it makes a Spectral Helix trap. That's bizarre. Spectral Shield Throw, you throw out the shield, then it turns into like I don't know, an orbital bombardment cannon that starts blasting projectiles out of the shield. Cool. Spectral Throw is also a trap, but throws Spectral Throw instead of Spectral Helix. Alright. I haven't played a trap build in, like, I can't remember. Whenever Explosive Trap was good, I think I played it to do, like, league start testing on it, and I was like, this is unethically strong, I don't like this. I think that's, like, maybe the only time I ever was like, oh yeah, I'm playing a trap build for real this time. I've definitely, like, used trap skills, like, just playing around with, like, Trickster or Shadow leveling practice, just to see, like, what do these buttons do? They look cool, and they're not amazing in the first, like, handful of acts. In my experience, anyway. Not compared to mines. And, like, you know, mines, I know they used to suck. Everybody still has, like, a negative opinion of mines. And first couple acts, first act, whatever. 2 acts, I suppose. You get automation very early on in Act 3. But you can get the mastery that makes it so that they automatically start exploding when you move. And as soon as you get that, it's off to the races. Mines are great. They're basically just the same as, like, traps or just spells, but then you have, like, multiple extra scaling vectors, or you can have, you know, increased trap throwing speed. Now you can throw, like, 1,000,000 traps at a single throw and all of that. Hello, Envoy. Oh, yes, time to monologue again. I see. I know that, like, PoE 2's story, I did actually kind of start paying attention through parts of PoE 2's story, which is rare for me. I like what they're doing with the Arbiter of Ash. It's very mysterious and intriguing. I like that. I think it's pretty cool.
Make your choice and be quick about it.
I think that scarab might actually be worth a little bit, but maybe not. I know this one's worthless, but, like, is any of the rest of this gear any good? No. No. And I don't really want to exile an int one, just because what if there is a good int mercenary along the way? It's really the strength-based, like, the 3 strength types that I'd, like, or strength, dex, strength int. Those are the 3 that I want to exile, so.
Take your trophy and go.
Okay. But yeah, I never really paid attention to the, like, campaign storyline of PoE 1 until, like, just maybe last couple of playthroughs. And it's interesting. I like PoE 1 or PoE 2's storyline. You know, the inclusion of Doriani was super cool. That was, I think, what made me go like, all right, I'm going to pay attention to this storyline the next time I play through it. Doriani's a very cool character with a great voice. I have no idea what the hell is going on in that game, though. Like, story-wise, like, what the Arbiter of Ash is supposed to be, who capital S she is, you know? Like, is that, like, the name of the planet? Is it Aziri? the Maven. I like the like cosmic horror-y aspects of the PoE2 in-game story. I thought they're like maybe the best part of the storytelling of this game. And it's been interesting to me to see like Mark and Jonathan both say like, yeah, they wanted the story of PoE2 to not be like cosmic horror celestial stuff, be more like grounded and based on the real world of Rayclast or whatever. And like that's fine, right? You know, you start on the planet and then you go to space. That makes sense. But then I feel like as soon as we get to the Arbiter of Ash, all that shit sounds like it's either in space or maybe like underneath the planet. It sounds exactly like the same kind of like spooky cosmic horror, otherworldly horror stuff that we saw from PoE 1's current in-game. I like that kind of thing, Lovecraftian, mind-bending horror stories. Like, that does it for me. Been watching more X-Files. That's not really very Lovecraftian, but, you know. I like me a spooky movie. Alright, what have we here? Bit of ore. Bit of gold. Yeah, even if I didn't care about the ore and I didn't use the ore at all, I think just the ability to make what the hell is this called? Just the ability to make a bunch of magic packs spawn at these different Calgurin, like Petrified Amber or Calcum, whatever nodes. Like, I think that is good enough for me to be like, this is a pretty decent strat. Adds a bunch of magic packs, and it's cheap, right? Like, all the scarabs associated with it are cheap as hell because nobody wants to do settler stuff, even though kind of decent. Until you get a Soul Eater. Come on, man. The worst mod in the game. That's gotta go. Hold on, what is that? Yilfaban's Trickery? Oh yeah, Yilfaban's Trickery. I knew I wanted to hang on to one of those just in case for mercenary related stuff. So, I will do so. Alright, this guy's probably getting exiled. Combatant, that's Strength Dex. He's like a double strike or dual strike kind of duelist. And he's real creepy.
Choice after all.
Okay, his drops are terrible. His gear is equally bad. And don't think he's going to be too dangerous, but I'm still going to, you know, play safe. I didn't bother to look, and you always should do this before you start fighting a merc. You should always look and see what their skills are and make sure they don't have, like, you know, ambush or blink or whatever. I did not do that, but it worked out okay because he didn't. No. Alright, great. Why did I want this? Ilfaban's Trickery. Curse enemies you hit with a random hex, ignoring the curse limit. Oh, that's hilarious. Wow. Interesting. That is such a baffling neck. Oh my god. Oh my god. 60 all stats is crazy good. But then you have like negative 98 strength and negative global crit multi and that is such a weird. Oh my god. Which way do you go? Okay. Let's think about this. Bad for strength stacking if you go left. Obviously worthless for like crit multi. 67 negative global crit multi is crazy. The life on the right side one is insane. Okay, like look at this. That's outrageous. But then what about the alternative, right? What if you're playing Chaos Inoculation, right? But like, No, no. It has to be the right one. Of course. I don't think either of these is going to get used, but, like, because I think any strength stacker is going to use, like... Oh, man, I cannot remember what amulet I used for my strength stacking build now that I'm thinking. I know it was, like, Astromentus initially, but that's not what I ended on. Was it a rare? I can go back and look at my old POB from, like, 3 leagues ago, but I don't think I want to. Whatever. A neck with over 250 life on it is preposterous. And also, 67 global crit multi. Does suck to have minus 60 dex in it, though. You're going to be insanely stupid if you're wearing this neck. Oh, no, 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 no. We will not be getting stomped on by Rector the Breaker or blasted by the High Lithomancer. No thanks. What am I doing? Need to look in the clouds.
Don't bother dodging.
Oh god, another cloud thing. Alright, cool. Oh, alright, let's see if we got some divs out of the yeomen. Isn't that what you call a bunch of ship guys? Yeomen? Sailors, I suppose.
Give yourself to the void. Mortal flesh is so fallible.
What's the word for guys who take stuff out of boats? Longshoremen? I feel like there's another word for that. Checkers? Is that another thing? I think that's another thing. Alright, I was gonna hang on to this Ilfaband's trickery for Merc gear purposes, just in case, right? Just random hexes has the potential to be, like, hilarious. Also, triggering Shocked Ground when hit, that could be pretty hilarious, too. I don't think the other stuff, Energy Shield and Light Res or whatever, I don't think that's super useful. Like, it's only int, so you're not gonna be able to get, like, take great advantage of that, but, it's something. I think I already have a Kitava Thirst ready to go. Interesting. Ink, AoE, and hypothermia as a evasion base. I feel like this is trash. But I'll throw it in a little tab just in case. And then I'm gonna throw this in a tab called, like, dude, I don't even know. $100 million. 294 maximum life. That's insane. This could be like a double-digit divine neck, or it could be one chaos. If it didn't have the negative 60 all stats, that'd be something. The fact that it is negative 180 stats is pretty bad.
Godslayer.
Okay, what do we have here? Action speed can't be slowed. That's okay. Max all res reduction and vulnerability and desecrated ground. Nothing that actually increases their damage. I guess minus max res is bad, but no actual damage increases. Nothing that makes them faster or makes their AoEs like huge. So let's go with it. Try not to die. I guess I don't lose XP if I do die, so like who really cares? Who really cares? All right, desecrated ground, nice, lovely. Vuln too. I'm gonna have to be real careful with the Minotaur. Excellent. Got the two that I wanted first. The nice flimsy pair. You really want to take out
Don't bother dodging.
either Phoenix or Hydra first because they both have the tendency to like try and like Hydra will snipe you. She'll dash toward you and then barrage from like just at the edge of the screen. So always try and take her out first, and then Phoenix I try and take out like I guess you know the downside of trying to take Hydra out is she'll phase and go immune in Vuln phase. Phoenix you can just like burn her down, start to finish. So that's good. But then Phoenix like she'll do the Maven will do the split her in two. And then the split is like pretty hard to see when it runs up and does the like AoE death circle, instant death circle. Yeah. Really don't like Maven splitting Phoenix and this guy, Minotaur. Don't want them like diving on me or doing big slams where I can barely see them. Just a tiny smoky purple outline. And then having all these rock circles all over the ground is terrible too. Alright, sick. Very nice. Alright. Giant Slayer Shaper Helm. I don't think that this is worth anything, but like I'll throw it into my crappy little 10C dump tab for the time being, take some of this stuff and throw it into the DE tab or just get rid of it. Sure, the 5 Chaos Quad tab that I'm definitely making use of. Bump that up to 10. Bump that up to 120 Chaos. Why not? Not making use of that at all. Okay. I could do another synth map set. Don't have enough to do Elder Slayer set. Don't have enough to do a full Shaper Slayer set. Or Shaper Guardian set. I do have a lot of Purifiers, so I could roll that out and do a Elder Guardian set, and I guess that's what I'll do. Okay. Okay. That's not great. Temp Chains, that's not fun. Which one? Okay, yeah, I don't like that map. Alright, there we go. Less effective auras, I always hate. I just always want to roll that away. I hate that modifier so much. I like that that doesn't even exist in PoE 2. Isn't that great? Okay, this one's not too awful. Chisel it up, I suppose. Both cases. This one's going to be nasty. Increased attack and cast speed, and unique boss has increased attack and cast speed. This is going to be really bad. That sounds great. The others seem fine. Alright, let's do it. Oh, temple map. Haven't been in here in a bit.
Let's make a mess.
Thank you to everybody tuning in. It is 5 in the morning. And we're still blasting. I think I have a high resire sitting around. So, I think I'm good. It's not like I'm going to take advantage of it, but you know, like the idea of maybe having the option of getting like coal on a bow mercenary, you know, built in. Maybe that's something. Oh, hell yeah. Another big stockpile of lost Kalguran goods to scoop up. Maybe I'll get a divine out of that. I forgot to stop and look at my boats when I was back in my hideout last time.
Every time you think you're out, they pull you right back
Everything,
in.
every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Yeah, I'm really loving the decision to run the double mana forged arrow links. That's really working for me on like an MTX level. I thought
Were we back in
that is correct. Yeah. Be careful with those gravity belts. All right, a lightning mercenary. Ooh, these auras are not great. Is that shared with allies though? Interesting. Excellent. Damn, this is unfortunate because I really did want to pick up a lightning merc and use it, but if it's using assassin's mark, then that's going to be like a whole problem, right? So I guess I'll just keep looking.
Yeah, me too, Alec. I'm also gonna use them for background noise while I farm.
I appreciate it.
Same.
to scream to?
Yeah, all right, I'll take 2 chaos. That's fine.
Frosting code, innit?
It's been a long time since I'd seen a lightning arrow merc, but I just didn't like the auras on that one, unfortunately. I want to find a lightning aura or a lightning arrow merc that has like grace, doesn't have a stupid curse on it. Because if I do build around having like an extra curse, you know, give her something that'll increase her curse limit, whether it's just like +1 to curse chest or crappy ass Deidre's damning or something, like whatever. But you know, I want it to not be then wasted on like an assassin's mark. I want it to be something useful like temp chains or something. That's true. Swamp people in Florida will definitely try and eat your kangaroo.
Yeah.
Not even swamp people. Guga.
Yeah,
Guga. I saw a recent video of
Yeah.
Guga eating, I think, an ostrich or something, so I'm sure kangaroo is next.
Oh, you bastard!
Look, if people are sticking their hands in holes in the mud to try to find a fish that will bite them so that they can take it home and fry it, yes, folks, that's how you catch catfish. Then
Noodling.
then they will definitely chase after your kangaroo, which is on land.
Alright, white strongbox, here I go, I guess. Ugh. I think, even though Eye of Innocence is obviously not like valuable, I think it's relatively low rarity, relatively uncommon drop. So I think Kalguran, that's the name of these guys. I called them British people. The worst insult you can possibly be called. Yeah. Most of this is not great.
Harsh.
You know, like maybe some of these ward items could work for like a merc,
Your family's from the British Isles.
but I don't know. My family?
Yeah.
No, they're
The
Irish.
British Isles.
No, they're Irish. No, they reject that.
Okay. Fair enough.
Damn, that is a lot of ward. 485 ward while also still having 100 life. I don't know that it's any good at all, but like, what if it was 582 once you roll it up? What if it was good? 20 chaos. Yeah, I'll take that. Don't know that anybody's gonna buy it, but I'll slap it in the 20 tab. I don't know about the rest of that stuff though, to be honest. Ward is so niche. There's like a couple of setups. I can't remember the name of the item, but like that one setup that uses like ward to convert it into chaos damage, I think. If that even still is in the game, that might have been a Settlers or free show only thing. I don't remember. Thinking about PoE 1 stuff after having like mostly focused on PoE 2 for like several months. It's hard to go back and be like quite as sharp. While that is technically true, don't let the Irish hear you saying that.
That's why I said his family was from the British Isles, but
That's right.
you know,
It's an island.
we
They're
are in the
neighbors.
small-
They're not friends. You know.
Larold and I are in the small minority of Americans that actually know geography. Like, both of us can probably label over 100 countries on a map.
I'm not great at GeoGuessr, but I am pretty great at like some of the map guessing games. Ooh,
Yeah, and flag guessing.
flag guessing. Flag guessing I'm real good at, yeah. Like, you know, the difference between the flags of like Micronesia and Tunisia. It's like, yeah, of course, easy. Done. Although I haven't done that in a bit, so I might be out of like over a year since I've looked at any flags.
You're over-promising.
So I am over-promising. So I will not be doing any of that on stream tonight. Gotta practice up before next time. I gotta cheat by learning information. The ultimate cheat. Become smarter.
That's right. The ultimate cheat. Practice.
That's right. You know, Michael Jordan was the ultimate cheater.
Yeah.
And then he was outdone by Steph Curry, the ultimate cheater. Man, I do miss Lightning Spear, I gotta say. As much as I'm enjoying Toxic Rain, and it feels great to be back, it will feel equally great to be back to Lightning Spear, or whatever else is new. But I do feel myself kind of feeling like Lightning Spear is going to be my Toxic Rain when it comes to PoE 2. Kind of hitting that same spot for me. Damn, that is a crazy amount of... I knew it had like a lot of evasion, but I didn't actually look at how much. Damn, 800 evasion on a 100 max life and like a couple of... Alright. That's not bad. Actually. This one, the 580 ward helm. It also has like an open suffix. Like I could just do, you know, classic pro tip. You want to make something look a little bit more appealing that has like an empty spot, empty mod. Just go craft something generically useful on it. Boom, there you go. Now, instead of being worth 5 chaos, this is allegedly worth 50. Will it sell? Who the hell knows? The answer is probably not, but I'm willing to throw, like, you know, 3 chaos away in the odds that it does. That's a good question, Mitchell. Some of the stuff is still relevant, some of it isn't. I think most of it is still relevant. Like the bowcraft and the quivercraft are still relevant. The neck craft is still relevant. Some of the stuff that has changed is like the mod that you would craft onto like mid-tier gloves like I have here, or that you would try to unveil onto like high-tier gloves, is this one, increased area of effect and increased area damage, instead of this mod, increased area of effect and level of socketed AoE gems, because they removed this crafted mod that used to be available on both gloves and helm. It's only on helm now, and then they took this crafted mod here that used to only be on neck, took it off of neck entirely and made it only go onto gloves. Why? I don't know. forgot to stop and look at my boats again. You know what? Boat time. Gonna go to the boats. Gotta go to the boats before I continue that map so that I don't forget it for like a third or fourth map in a row.
Got a ship back in with car. What do you need?
What's up, Tujin? Let's see here. But I'm gonna take it all, obviously. I'm just curious what is actually any good. So I like this aspect of... Interesting. Is this anything? No, right? No, this... No, that shield's bad. This aspect of shipping stuff out where you just immediately print a bunch of stuff to throw into ROG is nice. No. Nope.
Always a pleasure.
Nope. Nope.
We're gonna have fun with that.
Nope. Okay. And then tattoos. I'm not sure if any of these are worth anything, but this one might be. The Tessalio Tideshifter might be worth a bit. I was a little surprised just looking at some of the tattoos that, like, some of them, I've already sold them now, but, like, some of them, like the, I think it's reduced cooldown of Warcries or something, that was worth, like, close to a Divine, I think, when I sold it off. A couple of other tattoos that I sold off for quite a bit. Yeah, no Divines in these couple of shipments. These were very bad shipments. I just threw, like, whatever crap in there and just said, like, yeah, go. Random bullshit, go.
Let's make some.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think any of this gear could even be useful for, like, a mercenary, really. And that's fine. Oh, it looked like a 6th link for a second. Not a good one, obviously.
Let's make some dust.
That looks like junk and double junk. Alright, let's throw them in the junk tab. Triple junk. Alright. Tattoos. Cold res, proj speed. I think proj speed is worth a little bit more than you'd expect. I think fire res is not worth a ton. But that's fine, right? Okay, let's go try and sell off. Hey, Faustus. See if I can get any chaos for any of these. Yeah, 15 chaos for Nahamahu Firewalker. Just like immediate 15 chaos. You could probably sell it for more like 18. So, if you're willing to wait a minute. That's not bad. Yeah, 11 chaos for this tattoo of the Tessalio Tideshifter. That's pretty good. The chance to avoid being stunned. 14 instantly. More like 16 probably if you're willing to wait a second for the proj speed. Again, not bad. Yeah, okay. Literally 1 second. So yeah, like 40, 50 chaos worth of tattoos. Easy. And then I haven't even tried to sell the rest. I'm not sure if they're worth anything or not. Okay, no problem. And that wasn't like the best shipment or anything. It was a little bit of a dud. I kind of like shipping out to Tianoi or Nakano to get tattoos more than shipping to, you know, like Ribbonfell, Pondium, any of the Calgur spots, King's March. Or Calgur, yeah. Let's see, you know what? I think I will ship this one out to Calgur, because how much bismuth do I have? I'd love to hit that quota, but I still need like close to 20,000 bismuth, and I have like 1,000 here, so that's not close. A lot of pumpkins, a little bit of vericium and bismuth here as well. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Wargord and Blue Xanthemum, I'm pretty much tapped out on those, so I'm just gonna send a ton. All of my pumpkins are going to Calgur, and then here you go. 1,000 vericium ore should be plenty. And how about some corn while you're at it? I'm American. Accept my loving gift of corn. Bismuth and Orgord. Going to Tianoi. Every single port, I feel like, wants bismuth. Nakano, Tianoi, Calgur, they all want bismuth. The people cry out for bismuth bars. Well, best I can do is like 1600 ore gourd. Sorry. Whatever. Send him like 250 worth of plants, crops, and then he wants bismuth. You can't have it. Too bad. Ideally, the way you're supposed to ship stuff out really is like you ship all of one type of thing or all of another type of thing. Or bars, whatever, they're usually bad. You usually get currency out of crops, and then like item rewards, gear, I don't know, leveled support gems out of shipping out bars, so usually that's not as good, but whatever. At least I farmed up enough gold to keep the whole town going for like a full day. That's pretty good. Alright, back into the temple. Oh, no problem, man. Very glad to help anybody who's trying to get better at PoE. You know, that's kind of like, I guess if we had a mission statement, that would be what it is. We like to help people get better at video games that they want to improve at. This game you really need a teacher for, and it's definitely like, honestly, one of the medium-sized regrets of my life is that I didn't get into this game sooner, because I had a friend who encouraged me to do exactly that when it first hadn't even come out. Like, I made my account, I think in 20-something teen or whatever. Definitely before the game was actually in its full release. I can go look at my old account forum date, and it was then, but I didn't really seriously start playing the game for years after that. And it was because, like, I looked at it and I was like, too complex. I don't get it. And I definitely wish I had had, you know, future me there to help me stick with it, because I think I would have been really, like, I would definitely have preferred to have been playing this game since the very beginning. Now it'd be like something to take pride in instead of, you know, like, oh yeah, I started whenever. Like, I think the first league I kind of remember is like Harbinger League, maybe, and then the first league that I remember like actually like getting to end game and knowing what I'm doing is like Delve League, you know.
I don't deal in introductions. You got a decision to make.
Okay, we got ourselves a shield with bad block chance. Bad. I don't know that any of this is good, really. I hate to take one chaos. No, I don't want to exile this guy for no reason. It would be nice to get an aspect of the spider and grace combo. But I don't want anything else to do with this guy, so one chaos it is. Wow, I'm really going to fight a guy for one chaos. That's embarrassing. But I did it. He got owned, too. He got dump trucked. More than 50 monsters remain. Where? Where are they? They've got to be down there. I feel like they're not, though. Nope, they're not. 17 monsters left. Alright, cool, we did it. I just want to take all of these maps with Maven Witnessing down to... or whatever. Yeah, Maven Witnessing down to, like, under 50 so that I get 3 bosses. Yeah. Oh yeah, League Stones, that would be Legacy League. I do believe. Before my time, at least before my time of really, like, locking in and being like, all right, this is the game for me. Blizzard had their chance far, far, far too long. They blew it over and over again. Diablo 3 is not going to go anywhere. They're not going to do anything with this game. Diablo 4 will never be made. That's where I was at mentally. Oh, if only. The naive times when I thought Diablo 4 would never be made. We need to go back. Pure laziness would be the reason for that. To answer your question, the question that was on Twitch for people watching on YouTube. Any reason you haven't gone into clusters much earlier? I was just like busy doing WoW stuff the last couple of days, and so normally I would have done that already. But like crafting them, at least the way that I do it and have done it in the past, is very just like alt spam, and that's real boring to do on stream. So I didn't want to do it on stream. So I figure probably tomorrow during the day or something, I'll probably craft those up and get just like a full set of clusters done, and it'll be, you know, it'll be an absolute game changer once I do get the clusters done. Like normally that's something I'm shooting for on like day 3 maybe. This league I was running a little behind, so it'd been like day 4. We're obviously well past that, well into day 5, 6, whatever, and I still obviously have not crafted any clusters. It would help with flask uptime. It would help with damage. It would help with defenses. It would be a huge upgrade. You know, 2 more jewel sockets, all of that. So it's like just a criminal lapse in aptitude to have not already done that. But you know, I'll get to it. Okay. Pretty good base belt, right? Like, it's unfortunate because I don't think this is going to be useful for any player, but it would be pretty good for like a mercenary. What is that, like 80 something life, like 100 something res, like let's say 101 res, and then like a decent amount of ES? Like, who's going to buy this, right? You can buy one of these for like, yeah, 3 chaos. Bummer. All right, I'll take the regret orbs.
Alright, I think Lerald's gonna do like 3 more things, and then we'll probably wrap up for the night.
Yeah, I think that's
And if you haven't joined our Discord that you all asked for, please do.
Yeah.
And even if you weren't someone who asked for it, please join in anyway.
True. You know, I would say in terms of like rolling the cluster jewels yourself versus buying them, you know, the thing is, for the most part, especially like once we're even just a little bit into the league, they're usually kind of just priced based on like the amount of time spent rolling them. So for like the first couple of days of the league, it probably is a good skill to have, save you some currency. At this point, probably not. Probably just the amount of time that you save not sitting there spamming alts to roll them. You probably are, like, just getting back into maps. You're probably saving currency just buying them outright. I'll have to see what they're going for. Honestly, I haven't looked. I just haven't looked. You know, see what they're going for, if there are any good ones that I would want to run for not too bad of a price, then probably just buy them. And if they are a little too pricey for my blood, then I'll probably just buy some bases and roll them up. I mean, ultimately, like, what I'm just thinking, what I would want to go for is, like, a large cluster jewel, like, large... I can't remember if it's... Yeah, I think it's chaos damage cluster jewel, right? And then looking for... I'd have to... literally gonna have to go look at my POB to remember what 3 notables I want, but whatever the 3 notables are in the POB. And then, like, a flask duration, flask effect duration, medium cluster, and then chaos dot, medium cluster, and I know Student of Decay is one of the mods that I'd like to have on the chaos dot cluster, just for like a little bit of free chaos res. Well, not free, but you know what I mean, easy chaos res. Okay. And then if you can get any like resistances or stats in there, along with the notables from the cluster, that doesn't hurt. Hold on, let's take a look at the POB here, because now I gotta know. Okay. Yeah, large cluster, chaos damage, unholy grace, unwaveringly evil, wicked Paul. The classic trio. Medium cluster, brewed for potency, is fine, not mandatory. It's like, I think, just relatively common. Spike concoction, mandatory. And then the other medium cluster, Student of Decay and Wicked Paul, both just really great. Wicked Paul is the best option. Student of Decay, I think there are some other ones that are about as good as it, but, you know, 13 chaos res, it's not bad. Unholy Grace, awesome. 10% attack speed's great. Unwaveringly evil, getting, like, stun immunity is fine. Like, that's not a huge deal. More just, I think, there's nothing that really gives as much damage as it that's, like, as cheap as it, and then Wicked Paul is huge for damage. Yep, that's it. Just gotta get those together. Just gotta get around to it. I did not dodge that. Ugh, badly mistimed. It's weird trying to time the dodges on skills that you know the timing's on, like, in and out. Now that they're suddenly chilled after, like, ages of never playing any builds with chill or anything in them. Like, now I'm playing with a Mercenary that's chilling everything by 30% all the time, which is great. Huge advantage, but weird. It's weird just having everything be 30% slower all the time. It feels like more, too, so.
Time to up the stakes. A mouse for my mice.
Ugh. What is that, Bone Roa running around? Yep, of course. All right, Underground River. Cool.
You're not Kayakson, are you? Oh, no.
Hello, Mini Shot. Pretty sure Mini Shot is going to be another ice shot, ice arrow type of deal.
Well, haven't got all day.
Ice shot, basically the same setup as the one I have, except it has Frost Bomb instead of... Oh, that's interesting. Instead of Dash. Oh, is she better than Tatiana the Syaxan sister? Probably not, because she's high level 82 or level 82. Frostbomb is nice because it gives less life regen, the debuff. Ooh, ooh boy. Ice shot. Chain. Wed, greater wed. Cold pin and area of effect. What am I getting out of this one? Chain, wed, regular wed, and cold pin. And then Frigid Fork Shot, Chance to Freeze, CDR, Cold Pen, Chain. Pierce, CDR, Return, Hypothermia. Kind of want to recruit this one. Maybe to replace the old one. Alright.
Smell or something?
I'm a little wary of bringing in a
Any changes to the mission?
level 82. I think what I'll do is, I think I will drop Pavora the Saxon daughter since she's level 80. I haven't used her in ages, so I'm not gonna miss her. And I'll recruit this one, but I'm not gonna use her just yet, and I'll maybe play around with her and just see how I like having the Frost Bomb. And then also like compare whether she's tanky at all. Higher, but then reserve. Yeah.
Too much. Right in the gut.
Time to die. You work for me now. Yeah, owned.
Right partners it is. Now let's
Wow.
Whatever. One bow user to another, you got destroyed. You got absolutely outshot. Yeah, I don't think either of those are worth much. Although the Balefire may be worth a bit for disenchanting. I'm not sure. You know what? Kind of want to know. Damn, I'm fast. I love shrines. I wish shrines in PoE 2 were, you know, better. I mean, they are better now than they were. But even more better. Even more gooder.
I see that some of the EU players are having connection problems. I'm watching.
That's
them
never happened
disconnect.
before.
Yeah, it's the
Ziz
new
is
thing that they're
disconnecting.
trying, I think. Yeah, he is.
That sucks.
So it's a new thing they're trying, a new strategy they're trying. I guess.
I will say, like, on day one of the league, when I was feeling really bad, really depressed, I, like, turned on Twitch, and I was like, alright, let's see what streamers are connected. Like, you know, Mathel's there, handsomely connected to the game and blasting. It's like, alright, great. Ziz is connected. It's like, alright, great. And then I see, like, Gazzy, I think. Gazzy, a couple of other people are, like, I think Pox, maybe, like, on the loading screen, you know, on the login screen. It's like, well, you know what? I guess the saying is true. Misery really does love company, because I feel better now knowing that, like, you know,
Yeah.
some pretty substantial names are just not allowed to
He
play
got
right now.
disconnected. He logged back in, and then he got disconnected. So.
Just immediately back in a 100,000 person queue. It's like I had been, I mean, I wasn't high in the queue. I think I was like 20k, but it's like 20 doesn't feel too bad on day one of the league when it like
Yeah.
it took me a little bit of just like a couple of seconds longer or whatever to download the patch, you know, get all, you know, hooked up and good. And then yeah, just immediately back at the back of a 100,000 person line after having been having waited through 20. It's like, all right. And then that was just on a cycle for the first full 2 hours of the league launch time. Just, you know, back of the line again. All right. I'm depressed now. Then I see other
Don't be
people are also suffering. It's like, oh, well, I guess that helps. At least I'm not alone.
I'm giving you the cure instead of being depressed. Don't.
I mean, pretty much. Just don't do it. Don't be sad.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Okay, done.
Yeah. Great.
Grip of the infinite.
Great Jorb.
Time to up the stakes. A veil of safety and security.
Alright, gonna do this, and then the Maven invitation comes from this, and then I think that'll do us for the night. Fingers crossed we can end on a bit of a positive note. Ooh, snap. Terrible face break moves. All right. Well, didn't give people a chance to guess. That's okay.
Well,
That's on me. Oh, this is Breath of the Council. Oh, why did I think this was Balefire? They don't even really look that similar. That's okay. It's fine. Alright, I'm curious what face breakers disenchant for. They can't be that much. They're not particularly rare. Let's see how much room I actually have in Rog's window. None. Oh, give me 18 seconds. Yeah, there we go.
Onward and upward, as Danny would say.
oh, just YouTube is changing the
5460.
icons to show you
That's alright.
who's subscribed again in the comments. They've
20k,
changed it
that's
again.
pretty good.
Fun with that one.
Huh.
Always up.
Hello there.
20k out of the Breath of the Council. That's not too bad. Stormit, 73. Anvil, 84. I would say the vast majority of the dust that I've gotten has just simply come from killing possessed rares in conjunction with what is it, the Keystone? I can never remember the name, but yeah, Refiner's Bargain. It's pretty good. Alright, let's do this Kirak invitation here. Maven invitation, rather. Get it twisted.
Do you know what MTXs you were using in that TRPF guide?
Well, I'm using the Nightfall armor set right now. I'll just show what I'm wearing right now. Nightfall armor set, Cold Snap Bow and Quiver. Celestial Aura, Nightfall Aura, Celestial and Night Lotus Toxic Rain. You know, as much Celestial and purple stuff as I can. Very purple.
Yeah. I think people want to know what's in your collection.
Yeah,
They just want to, you know,
Probably
it's like
need to
they
put
want to
together
like
a-
look through your things.
yeah. I probably
You
need
wanna,
to put
like,
like a
look in your
comprehensive
closet and
list
see what's
together
in
of all
there.
of my collection.
Yeah, they want to look in your dress up closet and see what's in there.
That's right.
For some reason, there's cats in there and some other things.
Lots of
but,
cats. Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's your dress
mean,
up closet.
That's probably the biggest thing I miss about not like playing Forbidden Right much anymore. Is I love the
Cats.
Forbidden Right
Yeah.
cats. Yeah. I mean that's
Yeah.
one of my best character names. Was a Forbidden Right cast on crit occultist. Baja Blast cats on crit.
Yeah.
Of the infinite.
Let's get that second charge of Vol CA. I love having Vol Caustic Arrow in the build. It feels great.
Resist the assault. Resist the assault.
I'm using a gold flask. I'm not even sure that it does anything in Maven Invitations or not. Probably should be switching to the sulfur for this for like an extra 14-15% more damage. But I haven't. But I didn't. You know, it seems like work. It's certainly not going to do anything if the monster dies or the bosses die while it's not up. Damn it. No awakened gems today. That's okay. I got lucky early. Now I'm paying for it. Damn, did I get 3 Elder tokens? Alright, not bad. Alrighty. Yeah, pretty productive night in terms of answering the question. Did the changes to the league kill mercs? I think the answer is pretty conclusively no for me. They're still totally fine. I am gonna play with Rook Tara the Broadhead. See how she does. But yeah, I think I might have just gotten an upgrade since I, basically just have the same merc as I do now, but with Frost Bomb for that reduced life regen. That feels pretty good. All right, I think that'll do it for us for the night. Nice little impromptu 3-hour stream in the middle of the night.
Look, it's what the people want.
It's what the people want. You got to give the people
It's got what plants crave. I mean, what
what
people
they
crave.
want. That's right. Ugh. Exactly right. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. You have a
See you
good
next
night
time.
or morning.